radio for the masses.
Headline edition, July 8, 1947. The Army Air Forces has announced that a flying disc has been found and is now in the possession of the Army.
If the game is rigged, change the game. Game changer.
I occasionally think how quickly our differences worldwide would vanish if we were facing an alien threat from outside this world.
This is Fade to Black with your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
I need your help to get to the year 1985.
You're listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Good evening. Fade to Black. Bespoke radio for the masses. Yeah, man, today's Monday. Back in the chair. January 22nd. 22 days into the new year. Just 343 days left. We are live from a bunker somewhere in downtown Burbank, California. And I would like to welcome everybody listening all around the world, all across the United States, hither and thither, to and fro, back and forth, up and down, east and west, north and south, far and near. This is Fade to Black for KJCR, the Game Changer Network, and KGRA, the Planet. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. What is cracking, everybody? How you doing? It is Monday. I'm in the chair, back. Oh, man. And tonight we have very special guest. Roxanne Swainhart is here. She's a channeler. And get ready, because maybe later on tonight, we're going to get her to channel. That's the first thing. And the second would be taking your phone calls when she channels. Now, how was that for some prime radio? I am really looking forward to that. She's very cool. A couple of weeks ago, when I had Ruben Langdon on the show, I had been watching for about a week Ruben's new series, right, that he's working on. And I was like, Roxanne is really good. You know, and Michaela, you know, she's great, and everybody, you know, was really good, but there was something about Roxanne that I had to get her on this show. I got to figure out what's going on here, because that was just an amazing conversation with Ruben. And I know it's going to be the same here tonight for all of you, and I'm really looking forward to it. And so there you go. That's tonight. And again, we're gonna channel a little bit later, and we're also going to channel and take your phone calls. So think about that. What question would you ask? You know, and probably will be set up in the segment before that when I get to ask the questions when she's channeling. Really looking forward to this. Tomorrow night, Dr. Judith Orloff is here, New York Times bestselling author, MD. And now we're going to talk about her new book, but also she's an MD. So it gives me an opportunity to ask her those MD questions that our community needs to ask. I cannot wait for that tomorrow night. So get ready. But we're going to talk about the life of the empath, right? And what that involves. But she's an MD. And when you get a chance, you know, whenever you have, I remember, if you ever get around an MD, you immediately ask those questions. You know, I got this thing in my shoulder, right? That's what you do. You take advantage of it right then. My old dentist, he moved. I don't have him anymore, but he was great. And he, JJ, so he was one of my clients. This is, 25 years ago. And one day I called his office, and I didn't know, right? And I said, may I speak to JJ? He's with a patient. What does he do? He's a dentist. He's a dentist? I didn't know. So the next time I saw him, which was like that afternoon, the next day, I was immediately like, dude, I got this thing right here. That's what you do. That's what you do. And I'm going to do that tomorrow night with Dr. Judith Orloff. Wednesday night, big night here because William Henry is stopping by to talk some Egypt. And not just Egypt, but that chamber that was just discovered above the Grand Gallery at the Great Pyramid in Egypt is, I just got a text. ISIS, the ISS is flying over the bunker now. See, I got one of these programs that tells me when the ISS is flying overhead. And it gives you the countdown and the direction so you can run outside and look up, right, with your bearing optics, right, with your night vision, and watch the ISS fly over. It just popped up right now, which means it's going to be gone here in a few seconds. Anyway, he just wrote an article, and we have to get him on immediately, about the Iron Throne of Osiris, right, in that new chamber above the Grand Gallery. And that's what they're suspecting right now. How great is that? So that'll be Wednesday night. Thursday night is another Fader night. We've got John Rappaport here, and his No More Fake Newsroom live, followed by Open Lines. And then immediately after that, Friday, I'm over at Coast to Coast AM, and my guest will be Jason Martell, followed by Open Lines. So again, you get 2 nights in a row of Jimmy answering the phones, and I can't think of a better way to spend my time with this audience than taking your phone calls. Okay, so that's our week. And then I do want to make this announcement. Saturday, if you are going to the NAMM show, which is happening this weekend in Anaheim, I will be at the Tascam booth. I'll be at the NAMM show all day, but I'll be at the Tascam booth at 1 p.m. on Saturday. Okay, so I just stop by. Would love to say hello to everybody, and let's do this. Okay, so I'll see you guys at the NAMM show on Saturday. It's going to be great, and I'm going to make all of my rounds. I've got to go to Paul Reed Smith and Fender and of course Tascam. I'm looking for. I posted this. I'm just ready for a change. I've had the same audio chain here for about 3 years. So I'm looking for a new microphone. So I'm going to hit up a few microphone manufacturers and see if they've got anything new that's cool. I'm looking for a dynamic broadcast mic, like an RE20, SM7. I use the RE27 over at Coast, and then I use the Rode Procaster here, which is basically an RE27. Great sounding mics. But, I want something, want something new. And a preamp and compressor, maybe with some tubes. So that's what I'm going to be doing at NAMM. I'm going to be on the prowl for some tube processing gear and a new microphone. So we'll see what next week brings, right? Yeah, that's what's great about the NAMM show. Okay, follow us on Twitter, at JChurchRadio, Simple. Come and hang out with us. Use the hashtag F2B on Twitter. That's where all the conversations happen. We do bust through a few thousand tweets on every show. And if you want to come and hang out and join in on those conversations, follow me at JChurchRadio and then hashtag F2B. If you have any questions or comments during the show for myself or our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart, use hashtag F2BQ. All right. There we go. You can also email throughout the show, Jimmy at jimmychurchradio.com. Couple of announcements. NAMM has a promo just for the Fadernauts. It's going on right now through the end of the month, through January 31st. Check this out. Take advantage of this. They don't do this like ever. All right. They're doing this for the Fadernauts. And if you use the promo code Jimmy10, Jimmy 10, the number 10, no spaces, Jimmy10, and you will get 10% off of your order and free shipping and an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt on every order over $100. Okay? Jimmy 10, NAMM. That's you need to make sure that yourself and your family have something to eat when the doo-doo goes down. And there will be an emergency. And you just need to make sure. Just make sure you got a bucket or two of new manna in your garage, and you'll sleep like a baby. I know I do. All right? And also, tomorrow night on the show, Roddy McMullen's going to be back. And he's going to be back because we have a big announcement. We're going to do it tomorrow night. But I'm going to do a little pre-show announcement for you. Ancient Life Oil now is taking electronic payments. There was some problems with the government and the banking systems with electronic payments for CBDs. It's all been overcome. So now you can go to Ancient Life Oils. The links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. You can order electronically now. And just for you, just for the Fadernauts, you will get free shipping for the first time, free shipping on your CBD order. Promo code FADER, F-A-D-E-R. Ronnie called me right before the show tonight, so we got it up and running just for the Fadernauts, free shipping, promo code FADER. He's excited. This is a really big deal. Okay, so go and get your CBD now. I took mine today. So did Rita. We got to do it every single day. Love it. All right, where am I at? I posted up today, myself and everybody else, the Conscious Life Expo information because it's going down right now. I just can't believe it. Today's the 22nd, and the weekend after next, we will be at, the Super Bowl, too, is coming up, too, as well. February 9th through the 12th, Conscious Life Expo 2018 at the LAX Hilton. Tickets and info are over at theconsciouslifeexpo.com website. You can get there very easily by clicking on their banner at jimmychurchradio.com. Tickets are inexpensive. It's not that expensive to go. Friday and Saturday, you can get day passes, and Sunday, and then pick the events that you want to go and see. But it's inexpensive, and you can come and hang out with all of us. I'll be hosting and emceeing all weekend long. Come and hang out with us. We have now the good news is we have a booth there, and it will be on the second floor when you go into the Hilton there. On the second floor in the mezzanine, we have a standalone booth right there at the entrance to everything with River Moon Coffee. So we'll have the Fade to Black blend and River Moon Coffee there, and I'll be there, and Rita will be there all weekend right there at the top of the stairs or where the elevator, at the entrance in. So that's where we'll be hanging out. So, and also Ronnie McMullen's going to be there with Life Change Tea and Ancient Life Oils, and Chip Paul is going to be there from New Pharma. So all of our sponsors are there. And you get to meet all of them, right? And that's really, really cool because you hear them on the show and we talk about it all the time, but you'll actually be able to meet everybody in person. So come and hang out with us. It's going to be great. We'll be there all weekend long. And don't forget to subscribe to our podcast. We have over 790 archive shows right there. Custom apps, Apple and Android, all platforms, just $2 per month. Help support the show. You can also become a Fadernaut over at our membership section on the site, and there's 4 ways to do it, and we're going to be doing some other stuff here too as well. Everything is going to stay the same, but we've got a new year coming up, so for the Game Changers and all of that, we're going to have some other really cool stuff for everybody that will be renewing their subscriptions, and you can do that over at jimmychurchradio.com. Okay, get your autographed hats and t-shirts and all that stuff. All right. Happy birthday to today, Journey, The Voice, frontman Steve Perry is 69. Yep, he's 69 years old. Now, when I think of Journey, yeah, I get that, right? We all think of Steve Perry. But I think of the movie Tron. Yeah. That they did the theme song for Tron like before they were Journey, right? Go and check it out. I'm serious too. It's trippy. I think they might be calling themselves Journey. You have to go and hear the song. Anyway, that's what I think about. And every time I see Tron and I hear that, it flips me out because it's right back to the mid 80s and and early 80s, actually. And there's Steve Perry and Journey right there doing the theme song to Tron. It's really cool. Also, the TV show Suits, the star of that show, Gabriel Macht, is 46. And Rita and I went through a really bad Suits thing for a few years. We haven't watched the new season. I don't even know if it's out yet, but we haven't watched the new season. But I found out one interesting thing about Suits. It takes place in New York City, right? Manhattan. They're lawyers. They're attorneys. They have a law firm, right? It's not even filmed in New York. It's filmed in Canada. They filmed that thing in like downtown Toronto. I'm not kidding. Also today, it flipped me out too, but it's the truth. They filmed that thing in Toronto. Linda Blair today is 59. Interesting that it's her birthday, synchronicity, because last week I watched The Exorcist twice. Don't ask me why. Well, it was on, so I just couldn't help but watch it. Also, Guns N' Roses original gangsta, OG stickman Steven Adler today is 53. All right, happy birthday, Steven. Our dead guy's birthday today is Michael Hutchins, 1960 to 1997, died at the age of 37. And again, a weird taste of synchronicity because I played INXS on Coast to Coast for bumper music, I think on Saturday night. Weird how that works, right? A lot of bands out there, but I picked INXS. Lead singer and lyricist for INXS from 1977 until his death in 1997. And with INXS, now, okay, you know we love our Australian audience. I want to know, let's light up Twitter right now. What's your favorite INXS song? Okay? Because I have mine. But what is your favorite INXS song? And I was just going through the list, you know, The One Thing, right? Don't Change, Original Sin, What You Need, right? Listen Like Thieves, New Sensation, Devil Inside, Need You Tonight, Never Tear Us Apart, right? I mean, their music was incredible. Their hits. I mean, and for as long as they did it, they had a formula that worked. One of Australia's great exports right there. So, what's your favorite INXS song? I've got to go. I can tell you my favorite album. Yeah, I got to go with Shabu Shuba. Right? Yeah, I'm going there. Probably The One Thing or Don't Change for me. I just love that album. But, man, and the way that he went out, committed suicide. So, in a strange way, we don't need to go there. But then it got me thinking today, whatever happened to J.D. Fortune? You guys remember J.D. Fortune? The guy who won the frontman gig on that TV show, Rockstar INXS. Remember that? That was a good show, too, as well. He won. He got the gig. But I don't know what and how long, because I heard he went back. He was discovered living in his car, right? And somehow got the audition on the show and made it all the way through, got to the finals, won the gig. Then I heard that he even got fired from INXS, was back living in his car, then got back into INXS. And, you know, I saw some videos and he was touring the world, you know, like 5-6 years ago. Can't find anything about that guy now. Do you guys know? Is he back in the band? What is INXS doing? You know, so I'm deferring to our Australian audience. What is going on? Whatever happened to J.D. Fortune? All right. On this day in history, 1998, it was OTD. Hey, Jimmy, do you know if the Ancient Life Oil CBD can be vaped? I do not know. Write them. Just write the company. It should be right there on the website. OTD 1998. Ted Kaczynski, MK Ultra. Ted Kaczynski, the Unabomber, pleads guilty. Yep. 1998. Yeah. Wow. That was a crazy time, wasn't it? Fader fact. Okay. This was released today, and I had to go with this. Ryan Singer. Ryan Singer just sent me an email, the comedian. Should I read it on the air? Hey, buddy. Hope all is well with you in your world. Looking forward to catching up with blah, blah, blah. I'll be in L.A. for a bit. I'm excited. There you go. I'd love to have you on my podcast again. Man, we got to get Ryan back on this show. Hey, Rita, I'm going to forward this to you. Let's get Ryan back on the show. I want Ryan on the show. He was great. Ryan Singer's amazing. Funny dude, too. Okay. All right, where am I at? Okay, so this got released today in the news. And I've been talking about Bitcoin. Okay, so more than $80, and it's actually, the number is $82 of every $100 of wealth created in 2017 went to the richest 1%. The poorest got nothing. Zero. 18% of everything else got spread across like 80% of everything else. The old 80-20 rule, right? So you have 19% at the bottom, the poorest. You're going to have 80 in the middle. And that 1% at the top, the wealthiest of the wealthy, took all the money. Nobody across this country got pay raises. Nobody got bonus. No, that. And I'm talking about everybody. Think about that for a second. And I read through the reports. Now, that's the fader fact. But it makes you just stop and think and put things in perspective a little bit. I've been talking about Bitcoin. And the reason why I've been talking about Bitcoin lately is because I have been fascinated with and have studied Bitcoin since the beginning. And if you go back to the earliest days of this show, 4.5 years ago, I was talking about Bitcoin then, back when it was whatever trading. It's a frighteningly low number. And where it stayed until, middle of last year, 2017, we started to take off. And then, of course, it peaked on December 16th, the day of disclosure, by the way. So in analyzing this, thinking about this number here, 80%, $80 of every $100 of wealth created in 2017 went to the richest 1% of people. And I looked at the charts and studied those for a little bit. And then it also reminded me of something else that I have seen. And it has a lot to do with Bitcoin and those charts. So over the last probably 2 weeks, I have been watching Bitcoin minute by minute all day long. Just fascinated with it. Fascinated. And watching it, it's settled into the, this 10,500, 11,000 number. I don't know what it's closed at or where it's at right now. I can tell you, I've got it open right here. And so now, and watching this dive, it's been cruising around. Okay, it's at $10,821 right now, $10,821. So again, nearly a $10,000 plunge in the last 5 weeks. It's down. Okay, call it 9,000 plunge, and I've been studying this. Now I can't get away from this feeling, and this is where I'm at with Bitcoin. And I don't care what anybody has, any of the Bitcoin believers out there that are begging for more people to come in and spend their money on it so they can jack up the price on it and they can profit. That's what they want. They want everybody to be fired up about this. The people that were able to make money off of Bitcoin have made their money off of Bitcoin. The what is left now, okay, and I'm talking about those 1%ers, man. That's what I'm talking about. The people that are left right now with whoever's going to get what's left of Bitcoin, now we're looking at fluctuations like today, its high today was 10,942. The low today, it almost went below 10,000. It got down to like $10,050. And looking at these fluctuations, crazy dive today. And if you got in today with Bitcoin at 11,900, right, which was the high, and you jumped in, and 5 hours later you were looking at $10,000, and you just lost $1,900 if you bought one Bitcoin, if you have that kind of cash. That's a crazy, insane mindset to fall into. And then a crazy mindset. Oh, man, hang on to it. All right. And it just doesn't make sense. Why would you get in on a market like this? Because it's a crazy Ponzi scheme, virtual market. It's not real, right? It's not real. There's nothing real about it. But if you choose and you want to get into it, fine, go. You got liquid cash and you can go and turn your cash into Bitcoins and you can go and jump into this and you can afford to take the losses, go and do it. You know, who's to say where this is going to be? But it's, in my opinion, the more that I look at this, the investors that are jumping in now are making $1 here, $1 there. And if you're going to go in and jump in with to buy a whole Bitcoin at 10 grand, 11 grand, that's a lot of bread. And you want to sit and watch something fluctuate up and down a couple of bucks, $10, $20, why would you do that? The point is, you wouldn't. The smart investors right now, the ones with the real capital, aren't in on this. The big money's gone. It's gone. It's gone. It's just not there. And I think it's just going to, go down to nothing, eventually just, be virtually worthless. And there are going to be those left holding the Bitcoins that didn't sell them, and they're going to be left with nothing. It's like musical chairs. And eventually there's going to be one chair left and two people standing, and it's going to be a bad scene. That's my take. And the reason why that's my take is because that's exactly what is going on. That's exactly what is going on. I'm trying to entice more people to come in, get in on this, jack it up so other people can make their money, right? Take your money. The whole point with Bitcoin is you buy some Bitcoin and you're hoping that the next person pays more than you. That's it. That's all it is. It's nothing more than that. And you need to wrap your mind around that. I'm watching these markets and the fluctuate. I'm watching this nosedive, this crazy thing where it seems to have settled in at around $10,000, 10,500, 11, maybe 12. And it's just going to sit there and fluctuate up and down a couple of bucks, up and down, up, down, up, down, up, down, down. And that's all it is. It's nothing more than that. So why would you want to do it? That's my point. The technology, the security behind it, all right, the anonymous, okay, I get that. Anonymous purchases, okay, nobody could try. Okay, all right, great, fine, love it. If you can afford it and you can go and do it, do it. Me, it's crazy. It's a game of musical chairs that's eventually just going to run out. I may be wrong. I may be wrong. I can't wait to hear what I have to say about this in, let's say, 2 years. Give it 2 years. Give it 2 years. Be like the pet rock. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart. I'll be right back with Roxanne. We're gonna chat. Then we're going to channel, and then we're going to channel and take your phone calls. Get ready for all of that. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. At JChurchRadio. Join the conversation, hashtag F2B. This is Fade to Black on the Game Changer Network and KGRA, The Planet. We'll be right back with our guest, Roxanne Swainhart. Stay right there.
You're listening to Jimmy Church, Fade to Black.
Fade to Black will now pause for alien identification.
The station that talks the net. KGRA Radio. When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roast it to the dark side of Fade to Black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Natural Health Solutions with Chris and Ronnie.
Hey, Ronnie, how you doing?
Great, Chris.
Now, you're the CEO of GetTheTea.com, right?
Yes, I am.
What is GetTheTea.com? I mean, is this tea you buy in a store?
Well, no, it's not. Life Change Tea is just that. Life-changing. Life Change Tea is an herbal tea that gently cleanses your body from intruders.
What do you mean by intruders?
Well, intruders are toxins, chemicals, GMOs, heavy metals, and more. They're in our food, in our water, in our air we breathe.
Seriously?
Yeah, seriously.
And Life Change Tea will help you with removing these, as you say, intruders?
That's right, Chris.
Are there side effects with this tea?
Well, you might lose a little weight. When you clean your colon, you lose weight, you feel better, and you have more energy.
Wow. Ronnie, where can people purchase Life Change Tea?
Oh, that's easy. GetTheTea.com. That's GetTheTea.com.
Ronnie, I want to thank you for being on the show. People, don't forget, GetTheTea.com.
9 out of 10 geneticists agree.
Fade to Black is not your father's radio show on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the planet.
Win big with KGRA this summer. Tickets and hotel accommodations to the biggest conferences, autographed books and DVDs, chances to win all-inclusive conference cruises, and private dinners with your favorite KGRA hosts. Click the contest tab at kgraradio.com for your chance to win big this summer. Your contact for the best alternative talk radio on the planet. kgraradio.com.
Hi, this is Rob Reiner from Anvil, and you're listening to JimmyChurchRadio.com.
What's up? I'm Chris. What up? This is Kyle Massey, and you're listening to Jimmy Church Radio.
All right. Welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart. And this segment of Fade to Black is proudly brought to you by Life Change Tea and Ancient Life Oil. That's right. I do the super strength tea every day. Everybody around me is on the program. We do all of the supplements and also their Ancient Life Oil CBDs. Now, use the promo code FADER, F-A-D-E-R. Click on their banners over at the website, and you will get free shipping because you know somebody. And that's the way it should be, right? Now, check this out. I had Ruben Langdon on a couple of weeks ago. Good friend, very smart guy, and it was just a great conversation. And some of the stuff that he's doing right now and working on is just so compelling and dynamic. And what we were talking about, amongst other things, was his new series, Interviewing Ed. And part of that conversation involved our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart. She's a channeler, yes, but the presentation, the conversation, the personality, it stopped me. And I went and I stopped Ruben's TV show to go back and check Roxanne out. and we are very lucky to have her with us tonight. Very, very excited about this. Her awakening began back in 2010. Prior to making the transition from Roy to Roxanne, she was living the life that everyone told her that she should have. She grew up with a Christian family. She attempted college, joined the Army soon after that, got married, then eventually went into car sales, where she made, some cash, well over six figures. Roxanne's life seemed to be well put together from the surface, but from the inside, she began to feel increasingly uncomfortable with living within the image and construct of being Roy, the successful working man putting in 80 hours per week. And then in 2010, she made the transition, and she began choosing her own truth and joy above pain and dependencies of money and security. So eventually, Miss Swainhart stumbled across Abraham Hicks and Bashar and immersed herself into their teachings. One day during a meditation, she began using imagination to reach out and have a conversation with the Hathers. Right? Now check this out. Roxanne started to get small streams of feedback, which evolved into incredible full-blown dialogues with a variety of different entities. Now, she started channeling in 2013. Where she is today with her channeling, it is phenomenal, and we're going to do all of that tonight. We are going to have our normal conversation in the front, and then we're going to channel, and then later we're going to channel and take your phone calls. Are you ready? Her website is odysseyofascension.com. The links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. And I would like to welcome, for the first time to Fade to Black, Roxanne Swainhart. Roxanne, good evening. How are you?
Good evening, Jimmy. How are you, my friend?
I am fantastic.
Booyah. Yeah. Thank you so much for letting me, join you on this. This is awesome. I'm really excited. I'm really pumped to be here. I had no idea. I had no idea who you were, I have no idea about Fade to Black, and all of a sudden I saw Ruben Langdon talking on it, and I was like, where the hell? Oh, okay, there I go again. Okay, right. Where the have I been? And I was like, oh, man, I listened to the show, I listened to your radio, I listened to the quality, the authentic, and I said, but booyah, this is awesome. And then I heard you mention me, and I was like, even more so, and I was like, oh, that's even cooler.
Right.
And now here I am. I mean, this is literally last week, and I'm here with you. Hi. How are you?
I was so glad that we could make this happen. But before we continue, Roxanne, you get the first-time guest disclaimer. So let's get that out of the way. And
here we go.
Yeah, which is this? It's just you and I sitting on my couch having a conversation as friends. And where the conversation starts, it starts. Where it ends, but we're going to end as friends. There you go. Simple. You ready?
That's it. I love it.
Now we have to let's go direct. We have to go direct.
Good.
And which is this? You made the transition. Right, from Roy to Roxanne.
Yep.
Did that? I can't imagine what one must be going through emotionally to have to make the transition to make yourself right. You know what I mean? That's a heavy decision. What was going on in your life before that necessitated this, one, and two, was there any elements of the supernatural before 2010?
Well, we'll answer the elements of the supernatural first. Not really. You're so covered up by society. Your image. This is and that. I was a martial artist. I studied JKD for years. My dad was in the Army, so I traveled around the world. So I got martial arts, and that was my touch with the spirituality through some idea of meditation and, that clearing the mind, some chi and things like that, but nothing at the depth of we're talking about today. So that really didn't play in the supernatural. Well, the reason I became Roxanne is because I couldn't stand myself. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
And what it was emotionally was excruciatingly, painfully wonderful. The journey I've taken, I would never trade for a million, gazillion, anything that you can imagine as materialistic that would identify you in some kind of persona of your own value. You cannot put what I have found within me externally. It cannot be bought. It is priced. It is immeasurable. It's unjustifiable. It is what I am. And that discovery was a very painful emotional process. Because, when I transitioned, I don't even know how, 2017, I'm 51, somewhere around 43 or something, I don't know when it is. I'm not very passable as far as women go, being a woman, a passable transgender. There's many more than you can imagine transgender out there, but a lot of them are stealth. What do we mean by stealth? It's a term, it's a terminology. I'm not real big in the labels, but I'll go with it anyway.
Right.
So they don't know if they change the name first, they change their location, they move out of town, they become passable. They get the surgery, the facial feminization surgery, they get the boobs if they need them.
Right.
The hormones doesn't do the trick. Sometimes they go all the way and become a full-blown female and get that surgery, the sexual reassignment surgery, or sometimes they don't. It doesn't really matter. It's all individual preference. But my discovery was to know that I'm not passable. And that in and of itself was very scary because I lived in the 80s. I was born in 66. I lived in the 80s and I saw what happened with gay people being gay. I understood that journey of their coming out and the gay bashing and the murders and things of that of that discrimination. And there's nothing wrong with it. We've seen it in generations. We saw it with the African Americans. We committed genocide on the Native Americans. We committed genocide on the Armenians from the Turks.
Right.
We did all of this stuff. Wonderful, because you know what we're doing? We're just discovering ourselves. So that's what the beauty of it is. But anyways, so I went through that, and that emotion, that fear was so brave for me to experience, and through my choosing that bravery, okay, I discovered it's fine. I'm okay. No one came and beat me up. No one came and did this. I lost friends. I had hate. I had smirks. I had looks. I had all that stuff. But when you understand the moment, Jimmy, the moment belongs to you, and you're the master of one thing, the way you interpret reality.
Right.
So I started to interpret it as it's okay, that I'm enough as me, and I don't need to perform the image of trying to become a woman, dyeing my hair and wearing the right clothes and all these things.
Right.
And then I learned to fall in love with Roxanne. And what Roxanne is it's still an identity. I'm not a male, I'm not a female, I'm both. Some moments I'm this and some moments I'm that. I'm never going to be defined by an idea of an F or an M. I love the passion of being the both expressions at one time, and whatever I am expressing in the now is me. I allow humanity to define me because I don't care. Because I don't care what you guys think about me, because you know what? I'm okay with me. Once you have that freedom that you're enough, that you can stand on your own isness. I mean, you're in existence, right, Jimmy?
Right.
Jimmy, right now you are existing. Do you understand what that means?
I'm existing right now.
Yeah, so there's no not existing forever.
Right.
So here you are in existence forever. That's enough. You've been chosen to exist. You're not over in non-existence. You're over here in existence. So I really took that to heart to understand that it's okay, and go through the pain and go through that idea of accepting the other people's judgments and trying to convince them that and that I'm okay as this, and why I'm answering questions. Why did I do this? Thinking I need to go to a psychologist or a psychiatrist and take medicine because I love men. I love because I love men and I identify as a female inside. I'm not gay. I'm heterosexual, but and they're like, oh my God, I don't know how to define you. Well, just figure it out for yourself. Have fun.
Yeah,
that was the freedom I found in this.
Now,
that freedom in the journey. Go ahead.
I can only imagine that getting that cloud that is blocking inside of your brain, right? You get rid of that. Now you got cool stuff you can think about, and you're not tripping anymore on this other thing that is always there, right? So that freedom is, you just must be happy.
Oh my God, I'm happy for no reason.
Right, that's what I mean.
I think it's the natural state of being. And the cloud was a belief system that was taught. We're taught in a belief system of whatever society values as the value of the moment. I mean, 100 years ago, what are we doing? We're drilling holes in people's heads to free the demons. Yay!
Right.
But we don't do that. I mean, we did that as a society. That was acceptable. That was a thing. because we all are coveters. We're coveters, C-O-V-E-T. We covet that what we see, and that becomes our truth of its value within ourselves. And we're born as children, and the only thing we have is we get a steady diet of what? Mom and dad, whatever that representation is, whatever the parental is, whether it's biological or foster or whatever, that is our understanding of ourselves. Our coveting self, the culture, the belief systems. You know, if you took a person that was born in North Korea and they only knew the North Korean world, and you pulled them out of the world where they've never been in touch with this world, they're going to not believe exactly what the hell is going on.
That's exactly
They're going to say
right.
there's no way, because they don't know, they don't see, they don't covet that which we see every day. So we get that idea, and we discover ourselves through these belief systems of personality built upon the structures of our current society, our current morals, our current yeses, our current nos, blah 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 blah. I love it. It is priceless. The journey that all of us, every single human, master to find themselves in separation, discover yourself as an individual singularity that creates the whole. God.
Now,
that's priceless.
Exactly. And did the transition, like I said, freeing up, getting rid of the cloud that's blocking thought and creative, did that, the view that you just expressed to me right now, is that fresh, or did you have that view 20 years ago, this observation of the world?
No. I didn't have that view. No. See, the transition gave me a permission to be okay with whatever I wanted to do.
Right.
It started to be okay with choosing my truth, because I found something that is immeasurable, that no one else can give me. Freedom. Not freedom contained by a country with walls and guns and divisionary ideas of lines, flags. Not that kind of freedom. Not the ones that spill blood. No. The freedom that lies within, because you are I am. You are the existence of all that is. See, that's what I found, and that gave me permission to explore myself, to get out there and start my YouTube channel, channeling, and I don't know what the hell I'm doing. I had no clue what this channeling was. I felt it as a truth inside of me, and so I explored it to take this journey to discover what is possible in myself. And all I see is it's God discovering himself through me. God's discovering himself through you. We're all this idea of a billion individual singularities, an infinite amount, discovering and creating, expressing and exploring God.
Now, are there any boundaries where, when we're talking about singularities and parallel worlds and interdimensional and off-planet, the universe and contact, you don't have any boundaries with that thought pattern now, do you?
Of course not. The minute I put limitation on anything, I put a standard upon another that standard has to be followed.
Right.
But there is no standard in the universe, because everything is subjective. You are your point of view. You choose to interpret the reality as that is. Someone can tell you and convince you all they want and justify it. It's still up to you to believe it.
Now,
So any kind of limitation must collapse upon itself, because it cannot go beyond itself in the knowing.
Bingo.
To understand yourself as unknown, you must go on beyond the known.
Exactly.
So now we are in the we're right in the now, and the now is the cusp of the unknown and the known in the moment. And that's all there is, and that goes forever. Now that is exquisite. So yeah, no limitations. If I put a boundary on you, I'm just being some kind of diminutive idea of telling you how you need to act or perform within a box that I say, because I don't know how to love myself. So I'm commanding your authority or my authority upon you, and you go, oh yeah, you're right, so I can get filled through you. So I need you. I'm relying, dependency on you is a drug to fulfill my own life, because I'm not whole.
Right.
I'm not enough.
And you know what's amazing? And hearing you say this, I say the exact same things in my own way, but the same thing. But can you imagine what it's like for those that live their life not questioning their very reality? It's life, death, taxes, and work, right? And that's it. There's nothing else to our world. And there are people out there that actually think that way, and that's frightening to me.
But see, don't make it frightening. Look at it as an experience, but from their point of view, that's all they know. Don't try to wake them up or become a preacher and make sure they're saved, because hey, easy now. They're God. They're an individual singularity that's forever. Give them a pillow. Give them a little milk at warm at night and make their sleep comfortable if that's the moment.
Right.
But don't go out there trying to change the world, because guess what? Look around, Jimmy. Look around. Look at all the preachers of the world. It hasn't worked.
Right. But the thing is,
so leave it alone.
What I know, right? But one day, and it's going to be soon,
in your world,
what if they get woken up and it's not, it's going to be like Alice in Wonderland, where they have closed their mind down to this. But I'm telling you, if we have an Independence Day thing, right, some giant UFO flies over Kansas City, we're going to have,
Yeah, but they'll be okay with it by that, because you got to understand. Let me tell you a little story about the Mayans, okay? The Mayans were just in their own little coveting belief system, right?
Right.
And there's a witch doctor, and he was down at the lagoon, and he was looking at the water, and the water had a different pattern in it. The pattern that wasn't understood, and he didn't know why the water. So he sat there, took his little ayahuasca idea trip, and all of a sudden he got a vision, and the vision was a ship, and the ship had a cross on it, and it was the Spaniards coming, okay? Mm-hmm. And of course they just did what they did. He didn't know the ship. He couldn't see it because he didn't understand it. All right, so stick with me there.
I am.
He never seen a ship before. You can't take a Corvette and drop it in the middle of the 1500s. They're not going to be able to see it because the vibration doesn't equate with their reality.
Right.
Remember, we're references, we're coveting, we're walking through the nows of discovery. Perfect. So these people that are asleep, if they don't understand the possibility within their own interpretative mind, they're not going to see the spaceships, kid. Because here's the news flash, and this is going to get spooky for people. There's not one Earth. There's billions of Earths. And each Earth is that what you see in the moment. For we're all in a holodeck of a psyche, a co-creation idea psyche. We're thought, guys. This physical expression is an experience of electronic idea impulses that reflect back on our brain telling we have solid, we have touch, we have taste, we have smell. That's the beauty of being a creator. So there's billions of Earths. So these people that don't want to understand the idea of these aliens showing up are going to be on a different Earth. Their focus is going to be different. See, people that don't watch the news, doesn't understand the bad things in the world. So they go through their entire life never knowing there's a war, never knowing there's this, or never knowing they're that. Why? Because it's not their world. You may claim it takes place on the same one Earth. Fine, have that rodeo. That's yours. But the idea is look around. Everybody out there, look around. That's the extent of your world. As soon as you open your world door up and go outside, that's your world. When you go to the street appears before you. That's your world. Then your convenience store. Then you go to the mall, and your mall is there because you're a creator of the now. You're an individual holodeck. It's your own bubble. So don't worry about those ones. If they get woken up, it's not going to be a shock syndrome. It's because they're on the same vibrational level. Now let's talk about radio stations. Yeah, I'm listening to 101.1. And you're on 101.3. I can't quite hear you, but there's some static. So I fine-tune you in, and I get to listen to you. So it's the same thing. When these people change their perspectives and they start to tune themselves a little bit higher, they start to get that as a potential to fine-tune and accept it. It's called acceptance, truly, as that is a possibility. And, hey, then they get the experience of aliens coming. And they're going to show up anywhere between 2018 and 2025 is the insight. The outside is 2033. That's all the channelers' predictions. And, we're not much on predictions. We don't like to play the prediction game because humanity changes the now, and of course the future changes as soon as we talk about change in the now. And of course there's a whole bunch of billion of probabilities that are out there. So it's going to happen. The disclosures are happening, and all this idea, and the people that are on the deathbed saying, you know what, I'm tired of keeping this secret. Yep, we've been hanging out with aliens. We've got all these agendas. We've done all this stuff. But there's nothing bad about this. This isn't negative. This isn't evil. Because what happens is when all this stuff comes out, you're just going to see what it is. There are just a whole bunch of alien dudes hanging out and waiting for humanity to become part of the Intergalactic Idea Federation, or whatever they're going to call it. They're going to name it something. But human Homo sapien becomes Homo Galacticus. And this may be off in left field, and that's wonderful if you think it's that, because you, God, get to choose your reality, because that is what you are. And that's what it is. And so if that comes in their reality, then here comes the aliens, and they want to see it, and they're part of that, and they're vibrational match to that, guess what? They're going to see aliens. And then we go, hey, man, all this time. And you know what's going to happen to the world? we're going to change. We're going to keep going in the now. We're going to change, and we're just going to, all the problems and everything are still going to be a different idea problem. We're still going to be separated. We're going to birth ourselves as infants into the galactics as an interdimensional being, along with these other ideas, playing around in the third density, and we're just going to have an extraordinary time because we are gods. How's that?
Yeah, exactly. Now, when you first saw Abraham Hicks or Bashar, and you...
Bashar, yes.
I love Daryl.
Love Daryl.
Yeah,
Thank you.
Absolutely. Lives right up the street.
Does he?
Yeah. Is this... everybody goes through the same kind of mindset when they first experience this, which is, you know what, those dudes are nuts, right?
Yeah.
She's crazy.
Yeah.
Did you have just listening to you right now, now you're the crazy person. Did you?
Oh, yeah.
Yeah. Did you look at Abraham and Bashar the same way? The first times? No.
See, the thing is I got into a group of people, and they taught me guided meditation. And we were having this guided meditation, and they were just talking about you create your own reality and things like that. And they said, this Bashar is a channeler, and I was like, what's that? And they told me what it is. And the very first was a Bashar video, and I watched that, and I was like, oh my God.
Yeah.
And I was done. I became insatiable with Daryl, and I listened and listened and listened and listened, and I had Abraham, and I was Daryl, Abraham, Daryl,
right.
Abraham. And just listening back and forth. And then I was reading, I read the Ramtha books. I read Seth books. I started gorging on Seth. And I was like, oh my gosh. And what it is, it's a connection that's undeniable. All of it doesn't make sense to the fractal mind. The separated mind's trying to contain, put it in categories, but it only can reference what's that of its experience. What it has experienced in and of itself can only be used as the reference to make sense of things. So that's why you had to trust and let go and just trust the vibration, the internal feeling that, you know what, hey, this doesn't make sense up here, but down here it does. There's a truth behind it. And I just bathed in that wisdom. I allowed the now, and it just came, and it came gushing in, and it is priceless.
Yeah, when we come back, we got to take a break right here.
Sure.
But I do want to talk about those very, very early days, because I can only I've never channeled. I've never tried. But I can't imagine what it's like to have this start to occur. And the other thing is, and we're going to talk about this when we come back, you do it consciously. You remember everything.
Yes.
Right? And that's something else that I'm very, very interested in. So let's do that now. Let's take our break. Our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart. 2 weeks ago, talked about Roxanne here on the air. We have her here now tonight. Very excited about this. Now, what we're going to do at the bottom of the hour, we're actually going to channel. And then at the top of the hour, we're going to channel and take your phone calls. Stay with me. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can follow Roxanne. Her links are up there at Roxy Swainhart on Twitter. I'll be right back.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station, Salt Lake City, Utah, Van Buren, Arkansas. Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy.
Hello, I'm Hetty Lee, and you're listening to my main man, Jimmy Church on jimmychurchradio.com.
Hi, this is Ray Hobbs here, repping the planet, and you're listening to my good friend, Jimmy Church, Fade to Black, on the Game Changer Network and the KGRA Digital Broadcast Station.
This is Toby Kebbell. You're listening to jimmychurchradio.com. Don't hurt me, Jimmy. I'm only little.
Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And this is Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. Well, yes. We're of the Honey Brothers. Hey, I'm Adrian Grenier. And I'm Ari Gold. We're the Honey Brothers. And you're listening to Jimmy Church. The Revolution.
Ancient Life Oil. Life-changing. The real oil. CBD is truly ancient life oil from the source. This oil has no psychoactive effect and is also legal in all 50 states. When you're healthy, you're happy. The truth about this wonderful plant is that it wants to give back to mankind life, longevity, and happiness. Ancient Life Oil are golden grade, all organic, non-GMO, and infused with high-quality liquid coconut oil. It's simple. Just go to ancientlifeoil.com today. That's ancientlifeoil.com. The best, purest, organic, and non-GMO CBD in the world. Go Beckley Tappy. The statements made regarding these products have not been evaluated by the Food and Drug Administration. These products are not intended to diagnose, treat, cure, or prevent any disease. Please consult your healthcare professional about potential interactions or other possible complications before using any product.
This is Micah Hanks of the Gralien Report, and you're listening to Jimmy Church on Fade to Black, across the globe on the Game Changer Radio Network and the one and only KGRA Radio, The Planet.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart. Now, this portion of Fade to Black is brought to you by River Moon Coffee, makers of the Fade to Black blend. Just use the promo code F2B Blend. Click on the banners, F2B Blend. You will get 15% off of your order. Now, Roxanne, take me back. I want to share this experience with you. Take me back to the first moments where things started to come through. Were you trying to do this, or was it accidental? And did you start to think that maybe you were just nuts?
Yeah, you always think you're nuts. Sure, of course.
That's honest, right?
Yeah, oh, hell yeah. I would never lie to you. It doesn't matter. So here, let me tell you. We're sitting around at a table one day, right? This little group of my friends. There was Wink Carlock, and there's Rita, and there's Penny, and there's a few other people in the room, and we're just bullshitting about, oh, there I go.
Beep. Okay.
Playing about life, okay?
Right.
Oh man, that is such a separation. But anyways, so we're just having a good time talking, and someone had asked a question, and I got this thought in my head, and I just spoke it. And not only did I speak it, I spoke it in a different tone. The tone was the tempo was different, the tone was deeper, you know. And I was like, wow! And it was such an exquisite answer. I couldn't think of it, so I must have channeled it. And Wink goes, wow, who is that? And I said, hey, who is that? And I got a little voice inside my head, not the audible voice, but the voice that here says, hey, my name is Hugh, H-E-W. And I was like, hey, Hugh, how are you? And he goes, I'm great. How are you? And I was like, I think I'm nuts talking to myself. Right. He goes, nope, you're starting to understand what it is to be a channel. Do you want to be a channel? And I said, yeah, I do. I want to be a channel. I want to understand what that is. But before that, when I was listening to the Hathor civilization, I had picked up a language in that idea, some kind of vibrational language. And I spoke it, and I understood it, and I translated it. And so there was this interaction that I was having with this being inside of my head, or a collective, and speaking. They would speak to me. Where the someone asked me a question, I'd speak it to in their language, they speak an answer in their language, and I would translate it in English. Where the validation came in for me was the answers. Because I'm not that smart, Jimmy.
Right.
I was a car guy. I can close you. I can shut a deal. I can, do open wallet surgery and get you to buy a car. I can do that. I made a very good living at that. But like I said in the promo, it took an excruciating amount of hours to create that kind of lifestyle. And the only thing you do is you die. So
pretty much.
There was no quality there. So I got that. But anyways, I can do that. But I wasn't smart. I didn't have the knowledge. I didn't do college. I didn't have commonality. I had sense. I was vulnerable. I was a little bit naive about a lot of things. So that experience with myself validated I can't think of this, but yet I know it. So what is that? So that's connection to all that is. That's me being the expression of God through the individual idea, my own singularity, birth and existence, called Roxanne. So wonderful. I got that. That's me. Great. So I started trusting it. And I started getting that from Hugh. And we're going to teach you how to be a conscience channeler, Hugh says. And he goes, what's that? And he says, you're going to be an open channel. You can bring all these things through, but you're going to be the experience, because we want you to know that you can channel as Roxanne. And that you don't have to run interference on it with the mind of separation, trying to distort it to fit in for any egoic purposes of admiration or acceptance by others. And I was like, okay, whatever the hell that means, let's rock. I said, perfect. So I start going. My friend came over, Rita. She got a little camera, and we start channeling. And we had groups of people come over that were friends. We start posting on YouTube, and I didn't stop. I haven't stopped, and I love it. And I have evolved myself in it. I have discovered that my truths at one time are no longer my truths. By the way, let me give everyone a little bit of offering here, and listen to this. Listen to this exquisite. When you understand yourself as a new truth, you have a tendency to regret your old truth, because the domination of humanity measures you in the idea of polarity. If you tip the scales of balance on the wrong side, then you're going to be called wrong, and then you have to have regrets about your actions. But I say this. I say when you see yourself as a new self discovered, that self who chose that now mistake, but then truth, has given opportunity for you to call something a mistake. So now you have the ability to see yourself in expansion instead of regret. I would choose the bright side of life, my friends. So I discovered my truth in the now, or the consistency of what Bashar said. All truths are truth in the now. Be the everlasting rung of the ladder. Climb, climb, climb. Let go of old truths that no longer service you. People want truths as a standard because they're so empty and they don't know how to be. We're so empty down here. We don't know what we're always seeking outside objects to find ourselves in a community, in a club, in an admiration, in a bank account, in a status, in like me, shoes. I love shoes. Identities, images, my work image, my family image, my partner image, my lover image, my mom and dad image, or my church image, whatever image, and just stop. And I stopped that to see that I'm okay, and I never needed to be imaging myself anymore. And that was a permission for me to just put that out there. Roxanne gave me that. Put that out there to become this channel and just find out what this is all about. And I've been blazed. I've been ripped apart. 3 ways from Wednesday when I did the Moore show with Kevin Moore. And we did a channeling with him. And people on the comments, they were ripping me up and calling me this and calling me that. And I looked at it and I said, yes. Do you see what that is? They get to. I provide them and they provide me with experience, the interaction of the everlasting, unconditional, back and forth, never give and take, I am. The everlasting expression. So I'm expressing myself through channeling to discover who? Me, that I forgot. God. The individual singularity that I am, and that's the journey, and channeling is my avenue. And you can do that through music, you can do that through hard work, you can do that through anything. If it is your authentic, if it is your passion, if it is your truth, and I'm telling you, the only thing you're going to fall in love with is you. And I can tell you this right now, each and every one of you rock. You've been told you suck. You've been told you're wrong. You've been taught the known from the past, the generations. And you know what I love, Jimmy? Let me tell you about the millennials. I love them. Why? Because they don't care.
They don't.
You know, they don't care because they're not interested in hard work the way that we were taught. It's insane for us to go to work for 40 hours for 60 fucking years and then die.
Right.
That's what we do. But see, they're changing. People out there are changing. Denmark changes. Companies are changing. 33-hour work weeks, 2-week vacations, twice a year, maternity leave. Take your time. Be a human. Don't be a cog in the wheel, a number. Don't be that. I love that. And it doesn't need to change through protest. It doesn't need to change. The millennials got it. You know what? They're just turning away. They're not feeding the hunger, lying, and justifying why they need to be your way or why they're choosing their way. They're just going, hey, you know what? That's cool. I'm going to go over here and play on my game. I'll be on my laptop. If you want to talk to me in my land, great. If not, you play in your land. And they're just a generation. Now, they're not special. Let's all not be identifiable here. They're not special. They're gods that have found a playground that our generation and the generation before through the evolution of humanity have provided a more free garden of the gods for them to play in. And this is the awakening. This is the great awakening of humanity. It started in 1997 at the harmonic convergence. Awesome. 2012, boom, we're all here. And now this awakening is happening. So the vibration of Earth isn't as nasty. It isn't as separated. It isn't as such a pain in the butt to be alive here that you have to listen to fear and you need to do this. And if you don't, this is going to happen. So they're selling you two piles of crap. The good pile of crap of going to work all your life, or the bad pile of crap. If you don't do this, you're going to be this.
Right.
And that's not being sold anymore because we're representing that we can live different ways. We can earn abundance in different ways. We can start to express ourselves in authentic instead of the ideology of conforming to some system of I got more money than you or I got more image than you, because it's not being bought in. And that's why I love Trump. Oh, thank you, Donald, for doing it. He's representing exactly what we don't want anymore. Perfect.
You know,
so all we have to do is look away and choose our own worlds, and then there's no one feeding that hungry line, including Donald, because Donald is a god.
Okay, so let me jump in really quick. Your compadres at the car dealership, have you been back? Have you hung out? Have you walked through the showroom floor?
No, it was in Las Vegas.
Oh, okay.
I left Vegas in 2012. Although I did have a friend whose wife lives down here, so he came down to visit, was in the car business with me. He came by and gave me a little hug. William, shout out. So, yeah, he came out and said hi to me. But, no, I haven't gone back to Vegas since I left in 2012.
Because they would see, well, first off, the transition, but not the physical side, but also your inside. There's a difference.
Yeah, my light.
Yeah,
Sure.
I don't think you could close a deal with what you just said to me right now. I don't think that would.
Probably not.
Probably not. Yeah, here comes Roxanne, our closer. No, I need somebody else.
No.
Okay, so anyway, now the intellect of everything that you just said right there. Did you throughout life? I know your answer is going to be no, but did you use this mindset and these words and this vocabulary and sentence structure in the past, or are you listening to yourself now going, "Wow, I just don't know where this is coming from because this is not who I used to be"?
See, it's not so much wow anymore. It's because I've become unum with it. I accept what I am, and I don't look at it as wow. Because as long as I'm looking at myself in awe of myself, then I'll never be myself. Mm-hmm. I'll always be separated myself as in awe of myself.
Right.
But as before, there were times and parts of the life, everyone's had this experience where all of a sudden their intelligence just steps in because the separated mind's not trying to run interference on reality. And then they understand the moment, and there's this perfect clarity. They understand that the thing, and whatever the way action is, they're with one with themselves, and it's like, oh man, how did I say that? Where did that come from? Holy cow, that was awesome! We've all had that, and I've had those moments in time, but I couldn't sustain it because my mind automatically tried to analyze that and categorize it and keep it and try to figure it out. And as soon as you start trying, as soon as you start becoming in time and setting yourself in goals and acceptance of betterment and trying to change what's now, then you're only going to rely on the separated mind of its experience. So you're taking the self of the past limitation and creating in the future the now of limitation. So the results are within the same vibrational field. Einstein 101.
Right.
Tesla 101.
Are you able to channel specific people as well?
Absolutely.
Really?
Absolutely.
So
go to my website. I got Nostradamus on there. Tilly's on there.
What about Randy Rhodes? Could you channel Randy Rhodes?
Sure.
You know,
but it's not. Yeah, I know who Randy Rhodes is. Sure. So,
see, I knew you were cool.
Yeah,
I knew you were cool. What about Dimebag Darrell?
Diamondback Darrell, I don't know who that is. Who is it?
Okay. He's a guitar player too. That's no longer with us. But yeah. So you can channel. Yeah, he was good too. You could.
He was like a Stevie Ray Vaughan idea.
Well, that Stevie Ray Vaughan would be a good channel. But some channelers can't identify names specifically back to who they are channeling. Do you have those same issues, or do you know?
Yeah, I know who they are. They tell me who they are.
Wow, that's incredible.
Yeah. See, the thing is, it's a vibration. Me and you and everything around you in the idea of what we are in our essence, our vibration. We're a frequency. We're a vibration. I know that's hard to compensate, but Einstein said it, and Nikola Tesla said, if you want to understand the universe, think in frequency and vibration. Okay, and that's what's spooky, and that's what quasi-scientists, we're starting to realize that everything that we interpret is through the electronics of the mind telling us what it is. That's right. How exquisite of creators we are to give ourselves a physical reality, slowing matter, light down to a frequency to create solid, to create mass. Anyways, so... they come to me. Hang on, they come to me, and I say, hey, who's coming through? Or I've taken requests. I have a Sylvester class, the Sly classes, and there's the series on my YouTube channel, Odyssey of Ascension, and under the Sly classes, or a couple of the particulars, you can see this is the interpretation that I am doing. It is a truth for me. Whether it's your truth, I don't care. I choose whatever that is yours because that's your individual singularity. And the more you understand yourself in truth, now we're talking the discernment truth, the truth that says, okay, this is my truth, not the one you fight for and call everything this or that and start to separate yourself against a new experience because you don't understand it. No, I'm talking about the underlying tone, the one that says, hey, man, this is pretty cool. So that kind of truth about whatever it is. And if it's not your truth, then you know it's not your truth. That's cool. You got to be yourself. You got to discover yourself by choosing your truth. Anyways, so these are my versions. They blend with me when I bring a Cepheus in, or a Fucus, or Sylvester, or Leviticus, which is this wizard, or Buford, which is this fairy. When I bring all these ideas through, and Pelia, which is the same entity as the idea of the Bashar civilization, the Essassani, and then you got Kenia from the Pleiadians, and there are all these individual singularities. Plus, I've channeled Warren Buffett before. I've channeled Steve Jobs before. I've channeled them, and the authentic that comes through is undeniable. It's even though they're alive. Even though they're hang on. Okay. Even though they're alive, because that's the Warren Buffett question. I know you got about 20.
No, I'm going Steve Jobs. I'm going.
I know,
Steve Jobs.
but 3,000 or 4,000 people just said, "Wait a minute, how can you channel someone that's alive?" I don't channel the fractal personality. I channel the whole of that idea, and that whole of idea brings through the essence or the vibration of that. So go ahead with Steve of Warren Buffett. Go ahead with your question about Steve.
Well, no, I was twofold, but let me back up. So this is coming in from Twitter. To be clear here, Roxanne is awake and Roy was not. Right?
Correct.
Okay, that's coming in from Twitter. And also, I've got to jump back here. The questions are flying in. Can anyone channel?
Absolutely. Abraham said it years ago. Channeling is going to become the intuitive side, and that's all it is. It's connecting to all that is. The only thing that disrupts your insight to all that is, your intelligence, is your filters. Okay? Bashar said it best. There's three minds. You have a conceiving mind, a receiving mind, and a perceiving mind. The conceptual mind, the conceiving mind, is your whole self, the original thought. Our mind cannot create original thought. It can't think of anything unknown, because the unknown is created out of the idea of the whole self, the conceiving mind. Our receiving mind translates the vibration and then assigns it meaning through the perceiving mind. What we think of is what we have referenced in reality as an experience to use as tools to let's say conceive ideas, make things up, and we use this and this to make a new invention, and that kind of idea. But if you look at Tesla, his model for AC/DC was a reference of an explosion in his mind that was offered not by anybody, by himself. His whole idea and entity got this thing of AC/DC, and thank goodness that came in, or we all have like Edison's DC stuff of whatever that mess, and then we got this wonderful AC/DC, so we don't have to have relay stations every 100 feet trying to get electricity to the plugs. Mm-hmm. So anyways, everybody can channel. You are channeling. When you doubt yourself, I want to do that. But what about if I don't do that, this might happen. That is the mind that takes away the fire, that mutes it to the ideology of conformity, to keep you sustained in a certain idea. The ego in and of itself, the separated mind, is not an enemy. It is a portion of yourself you knew yourself as, so it is the power and equal to God. It is what you are as a whole. And then when you start to see yourself in separation, to look back at yourself from a different point of view of, why did I think of that? Why am I do that? Why can't I do that? When you start questioning the mind, then you're starting to see yourself as that entity of wholeness, and that's where there's channeling comes from. So yeah, anyone can channel. Before I started the slide classes, I had channeling classes, and I had many people come and channeling, and they're out there channeling. They got their YouTube channeling, they're channeling for groups of people, they're bringing information through, they're living God. They're living life. They're being. They're expressing. They're filling their lives with now instead of always pursuing the now at a points of happiness and in between the drudges of democracy of now, time, and becoming, and always all that stuff that we left. Anyways, go ahead.
Why do they channel this information?
Why does who channel?
Those out there that are channeling through.
Why
us.
not?
Yeah, I'm
okay.
Sure.
Oh, you mean why are the entities there?
Yeah, why are they channeling?
Second law of the universe. Hang on. Second law of the universe. Everything is here and now. So when I connect to the here and now. So they're not coming into tension, and as intention. See, now you're starting to think this is thinking like a human, like they actually have intention. See, they are the harmony of the one. They have no I'm going to, I'm not going to. They are I am here and now, and whatever that co-created moment is between me and whoever's up there is them expressing and experiencing themselves in the everlasting unfolding of the unknowable. So that's all they're doing, kid. They're not here for purpose or reasonality to help us wake up and save our human selves. We're not in trouble. We're not having a problem. We see our problems. We define our problems. We equate our problems through our perceiving mind, and then we are problems. But I don't have any problems.
Yeah,
I don't have any pain. I don't have any suffering because I don't see the things anyway through that. But that was my experience through channeling to allow me to see that. So I offer my understanding of creation through my channelings. And of course, as me, Roxanne, because now the balance is not even a balance. I just am the channeler of the moment. And sometimes I'm Roxy, the whole channeler of the moment. But sometimes I'm not channeling either. It's just me. And I'm becoming more of me, which is awesome. Make sense?
I just saw the light. Yeah, I understood that, and this is the other part. Why is it that we always want to be rescued?
Because here, ready? Here we go.
Let's go.
It's because we were born into a world. We're still in an algorithm. Everyone think about the society right now. We still got all the religions out there that say we are less than the Hindus, the Muslims, Christians, everyone in the idea, the current and Mormon, current idea, Scientologists, we are less than. We are big pieces of turds here, born under the guise of a mistake. Okay, if we're Christians, a guy committed original sin, so we come to earth. So here's God, okay? Here's God. I'm going to create out of the guff, G-U-F, and this is under the systematic idea of Christianity. I'm going to go to the well of souls, the guff, and I'm going to pick up a soul and go, oh, hi, I'm God, your creator. Go to earth, and if you don't find me, I'm going to send you to eternal hellfire.
Right.
As soon as you get born, you're effed from the get-go.
Right.
Because someone else did something. See, the serpent was knowledge. We discovered ourselves as whole with knowledge. That was the pursuant of the justification of that meaning. To understand the serpent is not the devil. The serpent was knowledge. But of course it was diced and sliced by, the editing of the church and things like that. So whatever, that's cool. That's life in and of itself. It's not my truth. My truth is there's not an angry God. There's an unconditional God, and we are all the same God from a different perspective. And we're discovering ourselves in the possibilities of creation that is evermore. We just happen to be in a game of mastery right now called humanity. So it's not the why we are searching all the time to be rescued. It's because we are so separated. We're only known as taught that we need to be rescued because we coveted when we got here in the psyche field. First off, in the psyche field, not even spilled into by the breathing words of your parents or the societal. In the psyche field of operation of your awareness, becoming a human, you were already less than. So that algorithm's been built, and it's been reinforced daily. As soon as you go to school, what do they teach you? Oh, your teeth aren't straight. Oh, your hair's not this. Oh, look at your clothes. Oh, what about this? Oh, he's black, he's white, he's tall, he's short. And then we start confining ourselves at the barrier, and then we seek. What do we seek, Jimmy? We seek comfort in numbers. We find our divisionary friends. We find ourselves in connections. And then if we get hurt or if they turn away from us and they're not our friend anymore, and my God, and then the dependencies, and we realize the dependencies on the people, and we get crushed, and we get mad at them, we get upset, and this is life, and this is the exquisite journey that we've discovered. So we're always seeking that of outside, but it says, oh my God, it says, the kingdom of heaven lies within.
Right.
It says, know thyself. It says, I am the I am that I am, and that means you. So say those words in front of the mirror, stare dead nuts in your eyes, and say I am, and you will know God.
Yeah, and the my answer to that is this. Everybody out there that wants to criticize, I was reading last week, I'm going to make this really quick. I've got 30 seconds for you to answer before the break.
Go ahead.
That channeling, I read this huge article that channeling is actually the devil.
Sure,
right?
Of course it is.
Yes.
Because that's the resource they go to. Because the devil's going to trick everyone to go to hell. I don't see, and that's everyone's exquisite right to understand that experience.
Right.
Let them have it. That's not my choice, though, because I don't need to defend my position. As soon as I defend, then I become a preacherhood of my own vibration of lack, because I don't need any amount of justification for my own isness. Because I am.
Yeah, and the other part,
so let them have it.
Yeah, and see, this is the thing. It's only hell if you're Christian, right? It's only Satan if you're Christian. If you are Hindu, or if you Buddha, or you're hanging out in India, it's certainly not that.
You're not that.
No. So there you go. That's my argument. It doesn't really hold water, but that's where I'm sticking to. Let's take a break right here. Our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart, trying to get my music going here, and it is not behaving. Come on, let's try this one more time. There it goes. Okay. We can take a break. When we come back, we're going to channel. I'm not sure where we are going to go or what's going to happen, but Roxanne, are you ready?
Oh, yes.
Let's do this. Be right back. This is Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest, Roxanne Swainhart. Stay with us.
Hi, everybody. This is Rob Halford, the Metal God, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
This is KGRA Digital Broadcasting Station. Salt Lake City, Utah. Van Buren, Arkansas.
Okay, nurse, let's get this man to the ER stat.
Right away, doctor.
We see this every day. Heart attack or angina pain due to blocked and clogged arteries. Chelation can remove obstructions or blockages from arteries and help avoid painful and expensive surgery. Now there's Angioprim. It's a liquid oral chelation product that you take with juice. You start to feel the results fast. Angioprim increases blood flow all over the body, and that means more energy and strength to take on the day with less aches and pains. 60 years of research has gone into chelation, and Angioprim is the result. A safe and easy way to unblock your veins and arteries from buildup that slow circulation.
Paging Dr. Jones. Please report to the emergency room right away.
Log on now for a special radio offer from Angioprim. That's angioprim.com/radio. ANGIOPRIM. Angioprim.com/radio or call 877-882-7221. That's 877-882-7221.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on the smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
Your contact for current news and trending topics. KGRAradio.com.
Hello, Fadernauts. This is Jimmy Church, and I'm introducing New Pharma, a company whose products are based on science. Human function based on the endocannabinoid system, or ECS. New Pharma firmly believes in this science, and their research indicates that support of the ECS provides the beneficial effects for a healthy lifestyle. New Pharma's science includes relief capsules for pain relief, sleep capsules, which are natural support for occasional sleeplessness. Foundation is support for your ECS, and Fit capsules support your active lifestyle. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2B for a 33% discount on all of their products. Or visit newpharma.com for all of the knowledge on the science. That's GNUpharma.com. Go Beckley Tappy. Did you know that when you're on the road with limited data or Wi-Fi available, you can still listen to every minute of Fade to Black by just calling 605-562-4482. No smartphone, app, or internet needed. It saves your data plan and no extra cost if you have unlimited minutes. Just call 605-562-4482. You can listen to me, Jimmy Church, on any phone, anytime, anywhere. Go Beckley Tappy.
You want to know a secret? I love ponies. I really love ponies. I'm serious. I couldn't stay sane without ponies to brush.
Why fade to black? Because you never got that pony, damn it.
This is Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Radio Network and KGRA, the Global Radio Alliance.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart. She's a channeler. We're going to channel here in just a second. But before that, this segment of Fade to Black is proudly brought to you by New Pharma, GNU Pharma. Click on their banner over at jimmychurchradio.com. Use the promo code F2B. You will get 33% off of your order. Okay, Roxanne, now... here we go. Now, this is, I've got just one simple question as we move forward. Can I change who I am speaking to as we talk?
Absolutely.
Okay. All right. So
it's your show, kid. Take it away.
Okay. I want to talk to Hugh first. Can we do that?
Yes. Stand by.
Okay.
Greetings to you. How are you?
Hugh, how are you?
Yes. Excellent. Thanks for asking.
Hugh, your connection with Roxanne over the years, has Roxanne been who you needed her to be?
Oh, no. There was no, let's say, alliance and probability of her being an outcome. I wouldn't be so obtuse to actually project her in an idea, because I have no want or need of Roxanne being, let's say, an outcome of measurement. Or if I did that, then when a containment, don't butt me. Listen, Jedi, master yourself in allowance for a second to understand the concept. Here, listen, Roxanne is a potential, and I get to see Roxanne express herself, which only creates me in furtherment. She's weaving the tapestry of life as I am being weaved by her, as I am weaving her as well, as we all are together as the unum of one. So to understand yourself, I didn't come in to be an intentional. You're thinking of a masked human outcome here. Roxanne isn't doing anything except discovering Roxanne. I was a potential that she ran across, accepted it, and ran with it. And where that goes is where it goes. It's not measured. Humanity loves measurement because it ascertains themselves in divisional ideas of where they stand on the chessboard of life. And that's truly not needed. What's needed is the now of the freedom and allowance to discover yourself, and with no fashions of deploration, of being judged, of seeking admiration, of betterment, or worse. All you are is the perfect now of constant evolution, change. So go ahead now.
How did you found Roxanne? How did you find her?
I didn't find her. I wasn't looking. See, you're looking as in I'm here and she's there. We're both, and you are too, as well as all, here and now. There is never there and then. There and then exists in the etherics of time, the mind of past and the possibilities of the future. Here and now is all that is. You are never disconnected from creation in and of itself. You are, as I am, here and now. So that's why this is now, because we have opened ourselves up to the frequency of vibration of connection to co-creation. So here it is. Roxy listened to that voice in her head and allowed it to come through. And as it's coming through, she spoke the words because that was the connection of the moment to allow. And she allowed it, poof, and then she realizes me, and I'm like, hey, you want to learn the channel? And then she goes, booyah, let's go. And I didn't hang out too long for then Osipius. The main idea of Roxy's beginnings, Osipius came through and started speaking, and then went from there, and then we had several others, and it keeps going in the consistency of everlasting change.
If there is only a then, and we are in the now, then what about time travel? Is time travel? Time travel is a co-created idea of the moment. Okay, now let me explain this idea. You are now. You validate the time. What time do you have? I have 8:37:52.
So that is your time. That is your now, created in the moment by you validating the time you're in. But when you don't pay attention to time, what happens? You kind of lose track of time. You're kind of now. All of a sudden you have a real good life, and then let's say 2, 3, 4 hours have passed because you're in the bliss of now, not paying attention to time. And as soon as you pay attention to time, then you start to measure. So time travel is where you think things are, but truly it's just a co-created time, because yesterday is now from that point of view. Tomorrow is now from that point of view. They're all existing in the now, but it has to be understood in a point of view on where you validate yourself to be when you validate time. Time in and of itself is part of the dimension of your fourth dimensional. You have a 3D idea. You have a third dimensional Earth you see in 3D, right? And then you add another element called time. Hence, you're in the fourth dimension or third density, take what you will. So that idea is part of your experience as a creator to validate future past. So you can time travel, but what it's going to be is a permission slip on however you seek to time travel and experience that co-created moment to where you exist in the now as, let's say, in the dinosaur age or in the future of 2012 or 2015, or that's past, Roxanne, of let's say 2050, that kind of idea. Are you following me?
Yes, Hugh. And can you see the future, or can you time travel
I can see
into
billions
the future?
I don't validate time because I'm here and now, so I have all nows accessible to me. I just go into a now. So let's look at this. Let's use your imagination. You up for it for a second? You here with me?
Yes.
Okay, so draw an imaginary line in front of your eyes and maybe look at it from the idea of space and make it a bright white light. And look at the left. And left-hand side, just put a point. And then draw a line all the way to the right-hand side and put another point. So let's label the left-hand side just like a graph of your geometrical idea high school days. So you draw a little line, you got that line, you put a little dot there, and let's mark that 1800. Okay, now go all the way down and mark the other one 3000. And now start putting tick marks anywhere you want to and zoom in, and then you validate a time. So let's see. The first is 1800, so let's all dive in together to the 1800s and explore it together. Everybody now, let's enjoy look at the 1800s. Do you see the picture? Do you see the color of the sky? Do you see the green grass? Do you see the picturesque? Are you seeing the dirt road, a farm road maybe? Are you seeing the old-time idea horse and buggy? Are you up there in Pennsylvania Amish country? Can you see what's going on down there? Or are you divisional down in the southerns? Where are you in the 1800s? All you have to do is call it 1800 and poof, you're there. But see, the validation mind of the let's say the separated mind rather, is trying to validate this through its consequences of its own ideology of separation, which of course is futile because you don't believe it. Simple. So now let's look to the right. Let's go to the year 3000. That's how I see here and now. I go anywhere I want to. I don't even validate time until I co-create in a world of the now called time. And then I validate whatever idea by joining in on a co-created psyche. And here we are in 18 rather. Thank you, Roxy. We're in 2018 together. Yay, this is where we are. We can be, and you are, in a whole bunch of different ideas. We all know you have past selves and future selves. You just don't know how to access them because you only believe you're this idea, meat wagon called a body, and your mind, your personality is your extent. And it's not. You're connected to creation. You never were disconnected, just illusioned in the idea of separation called forgetfulness. And that's the game, and that's what we're playing. This is the mastery to ascend a species through the idea of remembrance in its exquisite journey. So time travel is absolutely possible, only to the world of the person that is time traveling. And if you are part of that co-creation, then you certainly can time travel and poof yourself right back to the dinosaur age or to the future and check things out. Of course you can do that. There is nothing impossible. It is your allowability of knowing yourself as unlimited to allow these occurrences. Go ahead.
Hugh, did you ever have a physical body?
Yes. I've had several physical bodies and several going on right now and several in the future too. I love being physical, but they're not all human. There are many, many attributes of me. I am Pleiadian, I am Arcturian, I am the idea of Zephyr, I am, let's say, Draconian. Let's say I have a couple other ideas that you wouldn't quite understand as physicality, but it is in the physical state. But it doesn't have quite of a dimensional idea. It's a second density, so you don't have the same viewship of a third density world, seeing what you call a 3D world. It's more of a 2D world, and I have physicality there, cells over there, so sure, yeah.
Did you ever walk Earth?
Oh, yeah, many times. Spice tradesman at one time, milkmaid at another time, fair lady at another time, assaulted serf at one time, raped, pillaged, and plundered, being the rapist and the pillager and the plunderer. I've been it all. I love being human. Why? Because it is the most exquisite idea. It is the purity and authentic not knowing you're connected to see the possibilities of you just blazing gloriously through what? Creation of the now. With what? The power of God as your own creative choice. Just not knowing. Priceless. Truly.
Do you, Hugh, contribute to the energetic field at all times that is around us?
Well, not just around you, kiddo. Without me, you collapse into what? Non-existence. See, without you, I collapse into non-existence. Once you are in existence, you are an essential, eternal part of existence in and of itself, and nobody, nothing, not 1 ounce of existence can be extinguished, for all of existence would collapse into non-existence. And since non-existence is full, we are here. This is Bashar 101. Thank you, Daryl. Since non-existence is full, we're only over here. So I am always contributing, but I'm not contributing in intention. I don't need to intentionalize anyway because I'm enough being part of existence. And guess what? So are you. Go ahead.
Now, you just mentioned Bashar, and I found that interesting. Are you in contact with Bashar?
Sure, but I'm not. Bashar means messenger. I am in contact with the civilization and the entity that is channeled through the idea of Daryl. Bashar is a messenger of the Essassani civilization. It is a representation of a mouthpiece to speak to that of humanity through different idea conduits. There are several Bashar messengers upon Earth, most certainly. Daryl is channeling an individual singularity, which no one else will channel that co-created singularity.
Right.
But there are other parts of the Essassani civilization that are most certainly, let's say, channeling the idea of that, let's say, civilization through, let's say, humanity.
Hugh,
would you like to speak to one of them?
I do. I was going to do that through Hugh, but
don't do it through me because I'm not an Essassani. I'm Hugh.
Right. Okay.
Want to do it through Roxy?
Yes.
Stand by. And greetings to you. We bid you a good day. How are you?
I am good. I have many questions.
Thank you so much for coming in. You have many questions. Of course you do, because you're on the commonality of seeking yourself in betterment. How rich and bloodthirsty you are to understand yourself in separation. We bid you and beg you to start. Let's go.
The disclosure that happened through the mainstream media on December 16th, 2017.
Yes.
Was this your intention?
I didn't have intention. I had probability. I am a speaker of truth, my truth. That idea has allowed you to be a choice of your truth. Where there is no intention of good or bad or failure or success, because then you work in that idea paradigm of that polarity. If you are under the guise of such mannerisms, then you will be enslaved to such a world, of course. So we are not here to have an intentionalized outcome for humanity. We are here to offer yourself in your own trust to understand yourself. If you can understand and remember your Seth, everybody, know thyself in the idea of just go ahead and take a chance on trusting yourself. It's not too late. Are you understanding what I'm saying? Do you follow?
I do follow.
Excellent. So that disclosure was an ideology of a probability to give to humanity their own individual idea to how to choose it. It's not going to go away. We're not going to miss it out on it. We're not going to F it up and say, we didn't do this right, because that's the causality of a what? Cause and effect balancing mind. Simple. So if you look at yourself in that aspect, this was a potential for humanity to start absorbing some kind of vibration. That vibration in and of itself tells them a quality of their own discernment. That discernment is their truth. When they understand their truth, then guess what? They get to choose. And as they choose their own authentic, the only thing that's going to happen is their discovery of the isness, and they will lessen their ideas of their own separated mind of imprisonment and allow themselves to be more free, offering that light to the people around them, and the only thing that's going to result is a very happy species called humanity. Go ahead.
Is this for us a stage one, or is there more to come that we will be able to handle?
Well, it's not going to be not handling. You cannot not handle. Have you ever not handled what's been in your world? The answer is no, because you're here and now, so stop fighting for your limitations. If everyone is here and now, there's nothing you could not handle. So if it is, go back to the idea of what Roxanne was talking about earlier. Listen very closely. Don't let it run over like a speed bump. You're going too fast. She said if you can understand it in your reality, you must be the equal frequency vibration to that. So whatever is in your reality, you can handle because you are the equal of that vibrational co-created reality. It means you're in tune with it. If you are in tune with it, then you must be able to, quote, handle it. Nothing is going to go on the deep end. The only reason why any entity isn't here yet, and the aliens haven't shown up yet, they have in, let's say, individual singularity moments, of course, contacts and little things are happening around the world. But we're talking about the mass psychic co-creation is because you guys still have guns, lots and lots of guns. So if we show up, you're going to shoot us. You're not ready, so that's why we're not here. When we show up, is your vibration is the match of our vibration, that of the first alien species to show up. That idea will be, let's say, in accordance with the mass psyche, the psyche of humanity. Now, there's other humans who won't see it. They'll be on this earth over here. They'll be on this earth over here. That's not your responsibility nor your conjecture to bring them along, because they're all gods and they'll last forever. So get over it. Allow them to be their choice. Then you free yourself up from protest and helping others to understand what you know and start being what you know and offer light, the highest act of love, of course. So in that idea, what you're going to understand yourself as, this potential of first contact will be ready, and everyone co-creating to experience that is ready. And of course, you guys aren't going to have guns, because we're not interested in fighting you, because we don't fight. You fight. You put fighting on us. You think we fight. You think we have guns. You think we are zapping things around the galaxy. No, that's you masking us as monsters. We're bunny rabbits. We're nice, fun, fuzzy little people that like to have a good time. We would love to experience you in co-creation. I can't wait to have a cup of coffee at Starbucks. I'm telling you.
Where are you right now?
On my planet Essassani.
You're on your planet Essassani.
Yes.
So our communication
Fourth dimension
is in real time.
Well, of course. Where is there? Is there fake time?
No, in that.
It's a here and now. Thank you. Go ahead.
Right. So the entire universe can do just that. We can communicate in real time.
Of course. Because everything, once again, is here and now, not there and then.
But are there, if you're on your planet Essassani, which is fine, I understand that, do you ever have ships here?
Yes. We have one right above your idea Sedona right now.
And why can't we see it? That's
because you can't allow yourself to see it. Once you open yourself up, release your filters from your own self, shift your vibration by not shifting your vibration. Intentionally shifting your vibration only allows you to think about your vibration as less than, so you are the democracy of C, of sustaining your own current vibration out of lack, because you're saying you need to shift. What you do is already you are the highest vibration possible within yourself. You are God, period. So what you have to understand yourself is to release yourself from your own idea, what? Filters. Those perceiving mind concepts that say, why can't I do this? All you have to do is accept that you cannot do that, and then you can, because you are in a polarized world. And if you ever try to change yourself in the separation self of lack, then you will only sustain vibration, because vibration bequeaths vibration. If you are the allowance of your natural state to breathe through your idea now and allow it to fill yourself, your isness once again, then you will understand yourself in allowance, and that will connect to our civilization, and then you will know yourself as in viewship of our ship. Excellent. But don't look, don't try, just be, and you shall see. If you do anything else, that is your mind going, look at me, I'm trying. And you've done a lifetime of that, and it ain't working. So try the other way. Allow the now.
I love my coffee. I'm drinking some now. How does a fourth dimensional being on another planet drink their coffee?
Well, we don't drink coffee. We don't have the physicality of that idea. We have it in a different way of vibrational experience. We relate to reality as you are relating to reality through vibration. Ours is subsequent to our reality. It is not computable or comprehensible by you because you are the dominion of your reality. And that idea of physicality. However, I can most certainly enjoy a cup of coffee with you. All I do is slow down my vibrational essence and create what you call the same frequency of physicality, form myself in a little body, boop, 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 give myself a, let's say, an exterior, an edge. I understand gravity, my co-creation with the elements, the earth, Gaia in and of itself, as also the psyche of humanity, and enjoy a nice cup of coffee. A pumpkin spice chai latte would be on the menu for me.
I would enjoy that opportunity. May I ask a question from one of our listeners?
Yes.
This is from Archangel. And the question is, I believe that time is non-existent without a point of reference, and time is a measurement made by mankind.
Yes.
Is that the proper way of looking at time?
Well, we can look at it this way. Through your truth in the now, of course it's proper. It's absolutely perfect. However, understand it's not man-made. You have valued it in the idea. Time is not man-made. But there is a key I would like to point out, reference a point of now. That now starts you out as the ability to perceive time. So that is constituted by your choice. I value myself as yesterday. Between that point and this point, I've had the experience of the past, of course. And my mind can see I am in today, Monday, and there is a Friday. So between now and Friday, I see 2 points, and existing between those points is future. I label that, therefore, that I am the truth of that. If it is, however, don't be so arrogant to think it is man-made. It is not man-made. It is the idea of your density you have created, the elements of your world. You also, by the way, equal to time, you have gravity. Also, by the way, you have heat. Also, by the way, you have water. Also, by the way, you have everything in your experience. Not one is more or less. They are a part. They are the harmony equation, if you will, of this perfect idea world.
May I speak to Steve Jobs?
Yes. But Steve is going to have a difficult time, and I will tell you why. Well, okay, you want to do it? Yes.
I've only got one.
Quiet! All right. God, Jesus.
I've only got one question for Steve before the break.
Steve, hi. What's up, kid?
Okay.
The reason we're going to have a cuss time, because if anyone knows me, I cuss because it's just such a pain in the for you guys to listen. You don't listen. That's why we yell, because you don't listen. You want to hear things softly. So we do things hardly so you can penetrate the mind of separation that expects everything to be soft, rainbows, and lollipops, so you can actually feel yourself alive in your own pain. That's why we offer yelling. So go ahead with your question.
Steve.
Yes.
Are you happy with this new...
How can I not be happy? God, why do you think I have to be happy or not happy? Okay, I know you're separated. Go ahead with your question.
No, this new iPhone, I'm not happy with. I'm not happy with it.
Well, that's your choice, but you know what? It's not mine. I did what I did. I'm not interested in humanity anymore as Steve Jobs. Steve Jobs is no longer the idea of that Steve Jobs that you guys know. I'm a whole being, experienced myself as the discovery of Steve. So I, on humanity, discover myself in that beautiful ideology of that contained belief systems. I had Billy Boy next to me. We did some great things. We discovered ourselves. We argued. We lived. I died. I loved myself. I lived it. And I don't care what you do with it, because I'm not hurt, because I've given you a playground to play with it. And they made this new phone, and it's called the X, and whatever it is, it is. But see, my child, my friend, my compadre, my comrade in arms, Jimmy, that's your choice to call it. I don't like it. If you don't like it, go buy a Samsung. I'm not going to be hurt. I got enough.
Okay. Steve, one question before the break. We have 60 seconds. This is the question. Did you channel the idea for the iPhone? Did it just come to you from somewhere else?
Yeah, well, it's not somewhere else. I mean, at the time, it was like one of those thoughts, you know. It was like Bill. He got that thought of Windows. It was like, wow, damn, Bill, that was awesome. He comes out with that idea. And, you know, my little epiphany came in an idea of musing. Everyone knows me. They know I muse. I kind of gaze off into the idea. I put my hand on my chin, and I look out the window, and then there it is.
Your legacy, Steve, today tends to be the guru guy sitting in the lotus position, burning some incense.
Yes, that's what I left people to see me as, but I was never that in permanency. People always equate to their last experience as that. So yeah, they think I'm lotus and burning incense. Sure, I did that. Sure, what about it?
Is that okay for people to hold you up on that kind of pedestal?
If they choose to do that, let them. But see, I'm not a pedestal. I'm potential. What does that mean? Don't be a creator of an iPhone. Be what your passion is. Mine just happened to be the idea of electronics, computers. See, that was my authentic. I went after it. And, of course, I had the perfect timing. I had the exquisite timing of creating it. Now, you people, humanity, as well as I didn't understand the same potential because I didn't see it that way. I know we got 60 seconds. Here's what I saw. I spoke in passion my truth, And the result was acceptance because it was passion. Everybody has passion. If you are a passionate ditch digger, then please go dig your ditches. Whatever it is, be that passion and you will know freedom. Don't worry about how much money you make. Don't worry about if your parents think that's a good job or not. If you want to be an artist, you want to waste your life on video games, do that, what you do, and you will know yourself in passion. And then every action, whether it's washing the dishes or vacuuming the floor or making love to your man, you're going to know one thing: I am alive. And that's what I found, and that's what I represent. I represent that. And I wanted people to see that, but do not mimic me. Do not become me. Do not follow in my footsteps in the ideology of and becoming, oh God. Don't mimic. Don't become me in my footsteps. I am a permission slips for you guys to walk your own discovery. There's so much left in humanity to discover about themselves. You know what it is? I'll tell you how much is left. Infinite is left, and you're afraid because you're afraid of failure. You're afraid you can't do it, and you try to, let's say, emulate me or business models or try to become rich, and you put on masks and you put on clothes and you put on suits and you run to work and you go, look, I'm busy. That's why I yelled at the people, because they didn't want to be there. They didn't want to be in those offices with me trying, but I had the ones that loved it. They sat at their little workstation and they just did their thing, and they were just alive doing their thing. They were soldering little things, and they were doing their little things, and they were alive, and that's what made it so good. That's why Apple had such a vibration. That's why it is, because it was someone who loved what they're doing. Every part of that love became the ideology of that, and we created a whole society. We created a whole connection. It's not an idea of a cult, or it's not an idea of a religion. It's potential. That's what it is.
Thank you for that, Steve. And I've got it. Even I have to pay the bills, Steve. You understand that? Our guest tonight, well, it was Steve Jobs, Roxanne Swainhart. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. This is Fade to Black. More with Roxanne, maybe Steve, right after this short break. We're going to take your phone calls, 323-825-5045. Stay with us.
Way out here, we listen to Jimmy Church.
You're listening to Fade to Black.
Always on the edge of the hottest alternative talk. Jimmy Church with Fade to Black. KGRARadio.com.
¿Qué tal, mis amigos? Yo soy Mario Carson, el tiburón, y los invito para que escuchen a mi buen amigo Jimmy Church Radio. ¡Claro que sí!
Hurricanes, earthquakes, wildfires. This year we've experienced more than our fair share. This is Jimmy Church of Fade to Black, and last month I decided to make sure my family does not have to worry about food should we get caught in a real emergency situation. Introducing Numana, a healthy, storable product that tastes so good that you'll want to eat it every day instead of just during those times of duress. All Numana products have a 25-year shelf life, are MSG and GMO-free, no preservatives, and are made in America. With the Numana pack in your home, you'll be able to sleep at night knowing that you've protected your family. Not only have I tasted and tested, I own it. Now you can too. Just click on the Numana banner on JimmyChurchRadio.com and use the promo code Jimmy when you order. In addition to a discount, we'll send you an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt. Seriously. Go Beckley Tappy.
Do you worry a lot? Whether you're a college student, busy professional, parent, or grandparent, ongoing stress and elevated levels of the stress hormone cortisol can rob your memory, your health, and your future. Now you can combat the effects of stress and anxiety while improving your memory and recall at the same time with the dietary supplement Calm and Clever. Studies show that the ingredients in Calm and Clever reduce cortisol by as much as 30% in 1 to 2 weeks. Call 1-800-758-8746 or calmandclever.com.
You listen to us, and we listen to you. And so does the CIA. KGRARadio.com.
Hi, folks. CBD is the home run hitter for health right now. Why, you ask? Because of what it does for the body. Unfortunately, I can't tell you all about the benefit. You know, there's reasons. Do your due diligence and log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com. Ancient Life Oil uses organic ingredients and is blended in coconut oil for some of the best benefits. Legal in 50 states and non-psychoactive. Log on to ancientlifeoil.com. That's ancientlifeoil.com.
You are listening to Fade to Black with Jimmy Church on the Game Changer Network.
Oi, oi, I'm Reese Evans. You're listening to Jimmy Church. This is Revolution. The revolution will not be televised. The revolution is on radio. Ciao.
All right. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Our guest tonight, Roxanne Swainhart. And we were just speaking with Steve Jobs, by the way. That was pretty amazing. And this next segment of Fade to Black is proudly brought to you by NAMM. They do have a special going on right now, 10% off, free shipping, and an autographed Fade to Black t-shirt, all with the promo code Jimmy10. That's Jimmy and the number 10. Roxanne, are you ready to take some phone calls?
Absolutely. So this is still Steve. You want Roxy back, or what do you want?
Let's leave that up to the callers.
All right.
Yeah, let's see what happens here. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Say hi to Roxanne. You're live.
Hey there, Roxanne.
Hello, darling. How are you?
Okay, listen, I'm not a darling, but I am a gentleman. And this is Captain. How are you, sir?
Hi, Captain.
You say a lot of things with passion, and I love that about you. What age were you? Did you discover your passion?
Let me bring Roxy back. Hey, guys. Hey, Captain. Passion, it wasn't necessarily an age more than it was a moment. We've all had moments of passion. We express them when we all of a sudden just become naked and don't care about the world and how we are being. It's kind of like when you're dancing like no one can see you. And that's the passion I discovered. So it wasn't a finite in time. I was passionate about one thing, and then all of a sudden I was scared to do this thing in the moment, so I wasn't passionate about it. I was more imagery about it. Passion is the everlasting expression of what you are. We only dampen it with our belief systems, with we're not allowed to be this, we can't do that, we can't be passionate about this, we have to be serious about life and things like that. So yeah, passion is the moment. And what we tend to think as humanity, we want to passion in an idea of a career. What's my highest joy? What's my purpose? What's my passion? Passion is now. I'm very passionate when I'm walking. I'm very passionate when I'm cleaning. I'm very passionate when I'm making love to my boyfriend. I'm very passionate when I'm watching the NFL, the playoffs. I'm very passionate about now. And I've just become, by letting go of my separated mind of filters of acceptance and admiration and trying to keep myself in some kind of imagery against everyone else's beliefs to fit in, then I discover passion is always now. And if you are that vibration, remember creation in our just keep this to the Akashica universe where we live right now in our universe. Understand that vibration creates the reality. I don't know and won't pretend to know everything beyond this idea of vibration, but Vibration creates a reality. So if I am passionate, then my vibration attracts the same equal. That's why my life is passionate. I am passionate. I choose my joy, and my life is exquisite. I love everything, every day, every now about my life. All the experiences is because I'm speaking, expressing, and being my truth, my passion. And whatever I do, it doesn't matter. I don't care how humanity says my channeling is my job or my website. This is what I do for a living. Let them have that. I'm passionate about my now. I'm alive, and that is what it is. That's what passion is for me, darling. Make sense?
Thank you for that, Captain. And let's keep this going. Hi, you're live on Fade to Black. Who's calling?
Hi, Jimmy. This is Alex. Hi, Roxanne.
Hi, Alex. How are you, darling?
Oh, doing okay. The last three channelers that were on, I've been asking the same questions and haven't been able to get them answered. Actually, I've been asking these questions for at least a year, haven't been able to get them answered. So there are 4 short questions. I'll
Maybe
roll them
you're
all
looking
out.
for a particular
this
answer.
Is actually, could you channel God?
Oh, yeah, of course. I'm doing it right now. But see, you're
Okay.
seeing it as the idea of Roxanne.
Okay, well, I'm talking about the creator of all that is.
Well, that's you, my friend. And see, I know you don't like to hear that, and that's why maybe you're not getting the answer, because you have an expectation of what God is. But if the all are one and the one are all, so newsflash, my friend, you're the same God that you're seeking. You are. And you're just in your own individual forgotten point of view. See, the separated mind can't see that God over there and this God as the same God. But if it's all vibrational point of view from the same source, then it is the same God. But the equatable mind can't put that into references and understand how that is. So you're seeking a continuation. The last 3 channelers, and now you just said it for yourself, you're expecting a certainty of an answer that your mind can equate to as a truth of acceptance. And if you don't feel that or get that truth from a channeler, then you ain't going to be happy, and you're going to keep your pursuit of always trying to find the truth. When the stone cold fact is you get to choose your truth, because all truths are truth. The ultimate truth is that you choose your truth. That's what you are. So if I can channel God, I will channel God, and God will come here. Now, then that moment becomes your choice to whether to choose it as God. It's up to you. Are you in agreement on that? Are we have an accord?
Fair enough. At least I get to ask my questions.
Well, yeah. See, there you go. You get what you want because you're God. Hey, relax. Okay, stand by. Go ahead, Alex. What you got?
I'm speechless. That's funny. Hi.
It's not funny. It's you. But it is funny from a one point of view or another point of view. You get to do that because you have beseeched upon yourself the laden ideas of a mind of separation to come to journey into this moment so you can express your own isness, which only expands me, for I am you, child. I have been nothing but you, the whole idea. Yet you seek yourself an objective point of view of validation that's in accord. It strikes an accord with your own discernment of truth, that which you have chosen. But Alex, if you were the idea of Jane, who was born, yes, just across the street from you, and you are that point of view of God, then you would know yourself in a different now as a different self in a different God. And that is the equation of what we call the diversity of humanity. And humanity will only know itself as creation only knows itself as the everlasting diversity of the unum of one, so we may everlasting explore ourselves in the constant of change. Go ahead with your question.
That rolls right into my 4 short questions, which is
well, of
1,
course it does, because you set that up as God.
1, what is love? 2,
love is a state
who
of
am
being.
I? Which you may have already answered.
Stop. Slow down. God, everyone. 1, 2, 3, 4. Stop it. Be now. All right, ready? 1, what is love? Love is an emotion to the idea of the equatable illusion of humanity saying, I'm in love and I'm out of love. I love pizza. I love you. I don't love you. Love is not an emotion. It is a predicated label that you put in the idea of dependency that lies outside of you, and you call it love. Love is a state of being in the segment of your vibrational. Love is. It is unconditional. It cannot give, it cannot take away, it cannot contain, it cannot expand in the idea of conditioned. It is unconditional in and of itself. my friend. So love is a state of being. You have taken love and contained it into an idea of something to give and take, or have taken away from you. And that is the state of being, love, unconditional, enacting itself to have you and giving yourself an experience as the God that I am evolving, as experiencing, I choose this as love. Because you can. Why? Why, Kevin? Not you, Kevin, the other Kevin. Is because you are God. Kevin Newitt's listening. Go ahead, Alex.
Well, the second question, I think you've already answered that like 3 times, but the question was, who am I?
What? Who are you? You are God. You are unquestionably me. I am experiencing you. You are experiencing me through the ideology of Roxanne and Alex playing the idea of meat suits separated from each other's. Huh? That idea, ability to create in this mass psyche of consciousness. Wonderful. But what you are in and of itself is existence. You are God, understanding God through the divisionary idea of separation called, Alex, to give itself an expansion. So in other words, you're knowing yourself, God. So here's what I want you to do. I want you to repeat after me. Oh, are you up for it, kid? Are you up for it?
I'm up. Yeah.
Say, I am God.
I am God.
Perfect. Welcome to you.
That rolls into my third question. Who or what is God?
That in and of itself is for you to define. I would say I am consciousness. I am unknown and known. I am everlasting. I am death. I am life. I am suffering. I am sorrow. I am equation. I am mathematics. I am light. I am pain. I am the exquisite electronics that keeps you pumping in your now that you see reality in a physical density. I am the moon, the sun, the dirt. I am the worm. I am the worm food. I am the cow that is slaughtered. I am eaten. I am excruciatingly excremented out of somebody's bottom into a toilet. I am flushed. I am fertilized. I am life breathed into the idea of a dropping, a seed into the idea of the ground. I am the oak tree. I am the beginning. I am the end. I am the alpha. I am the omega. Oh, Kev, I am. And so are you. How's that?
That was good. Fourth question. How did all that is come to be?
Well, that is a time thing because you're looking at when it began. I am. So that means there is no come to be. What comes to be in the idea of separation is realization. Realization gives you a pinnacle reference point that the other person asked about time. You started somewhere in your idea of time, so therefore you started in a beginning. So in the beginning, hence that you're guys living in time. Wonderful. That's the way you can relate to reality. Outside of reality, being in the now, you would only understand one thing, my friend, that we didn't begin and we didn't end. We've always been, ever shall be, right now. Your mind's fighting it. It's trying to find it, but it isn't there because you live in a mind of polarity. You have yes and no's, ups and downs, goods and bads. If you use that as a resource to concept this idea answer and equate it to the reference points of your own individual library of limitation, then you're only going to find an answer that doesn't equate to the satisfaction of the separated mind. But the intuitive mind, if you're the master of allowance and allow yourself to step aside and give that mind of thinking a breather and say, hang on now, hang on, let me just allow this. Let me know myself, because I know you don't go down over there to the sapling and say, sapling, grow up to be a great tree. Don't do it. You can do it. Go tree. Go tree. You don't encourage the tree to grow because the tree knows itself. You don't. So that's why you're seeking to know yourself. But if you would let yourself be yourself, then you would discover yourself as the mighty oak does. Go ahead.
Is all of this a simulation? A computer simulation?
No, it's not a computer simulation. It's a holodeck. It's a vibrational holodeck experience that you enchanted in the idea of your senses. You have your 5 senses, actually 7 senses. You only validate 5 in the physical world, but of course you have your intuition and of course your exponential senses. That's the expansion of the feeling out the nows and what you call time, your potentials of reality, the ones that lie up and down, left and right, peripheral to you, of course. So you have those, but you only validate the 5 senses. So in that idea of a computer image, in the conspiracy theory theory that it was birthed from because you were always, let's say, wanting this to be not too good to be true show because you're not worthy of having the exquisite belief or trust or knowing that you are a creator. So you just say, okay, we're on some victim of some guy's computer, or we're living in the idea of a molecule of someone's fingernail, or we're, let's say, pond scum that birthed itself on an idea of a haphazard. This is the beauty of God discovering himself, and it's all perfect, it's immeasurable, so you can choose that truth. If you are on a holodeck or a computer, or you're an idea of a sentient idea or a non-sentient, that's you, babe. Only thing I'm going to do is offer you my truth, and my truth is that of you, your truth, for you to choose your truth. Because I can never be my truth. Because if I tell you my truth and I command my truth upon you, then I will limit myself and I will only know myself and collapse. Because all limitation must collapse on itself because it cannot go beyond its own understanding. Booyah.
Alex, thank you for the phone call. Did you get all of your questions answered?
I did. Thank you so much for the time, Jimmy.
Yeah, absolutely, and Alex. Great stuff. Great stuff. Hey, God. Okay, I've got some questions for you, and it's this. If you're saying that we are allowing the expanse of limitations of our reality, is our reality what we choose to experience? As in
intention. Well, I know where you're going. You're going and choosing an intention. Keep going, but you're not doing it with intention. Intention is birthed from the same mother called vibration of lack. Wherever you intend must have a starting point because you live in time. Your intention is to choose forward in time. Keep going now. Just put that on the side.
So vibration begets vibration.
Yes. So if you allow yourself to be the natural, then you're going to get the unknown vibration that's around you. But when you think, when you goal set, when you diminish yourself in movement from point A to point T as betterment, then you must be birthing that from the mother lode of the same frequency that you are already existing in that idea. But if you allow yourself to become the now and allow the epiphanies to soak up inside of you, allow yourself to be something you are not in the idea of mind seeking its own identity and what? Admiration, betterment, outcome, labeling, acceptance, respect, being respected, knowing itself in pity, seeking compassion, seeking empathy, wanting to be the empathetic, wanting to be the healer, all the identification so you guys can have yourself in existence, have yourself knowing itself as something that matters because you're empty right now. You guys are so empty because you got here and you did one thing. You said, oh my God, I'm empty, because you don't know yourself. You chose separation. So you start to covet and feel, and that becomes a self-preservation. That self-preservation starts to seek outside of itself to know itself in validation. So it seeks what? Compassion. It seeks dependencies. It seeks others to give itself its own value, its own worth. So that's what the experience of you are understanding yourself right now as that. Does that make sense?
As in, if I'm understanding you, this is important here. So what we choose,
important for you. Yep. Keep going.
What we choose becomes our energetic contribution to the here and now.
It's not a contribution. You're never not contributing. That's intentional. Your existence creates me every now. I only become more because of you. You only becomes more because of Rita. Rita only becomes more because of Kevin. Kevin only becomes more because of Alex. Everyone is always birthing each other, and I am always being birthed by you. So you don't need to contribute, because contribute has a measurement around it. If it's not enough, then you're going to be looking the guise of that acceptance as less than, and then you only contain yourself within the current vibration of your own perception self, and then you cannot experience yourself beyond that. Remember, everybody, the idea, that little cute little entity, that Esasani that came through a little while ago, you were always acting in the highest vibration. You've been covered up by dark beliefs, not dark as in evil, dark as in covering your light, okay? Let's all know, not run to evil, scary land. Just don't go over there. There's nothing there except evil and scary. But you're a god, you can go play in there. But if you're in this idea now, then under yourself is covered in the idea of just put whatever is on you, blankets, and you lift those blankets by allowing them to blow away. See, you holding them down with beliefs, saying, this is the truth, this is the truth, this is the truth. And those truths are 10 years old. They're so long ago, and they have nothing to do with you in the here and the now. But you believe they do because they give you identity, they give you matter, they give you purpose, they give you meaning. I am alive as a God today because of that. And that's what you command. So your beliefs are that idea of contributing in intention. But you don't need to, because you matter as existence. And without you, I am not.
Okay, so God, I hate
where you want to go.
I hate what I'm about to say, which is I need to take a commercial break. Can I have God hang on?
I'm not going anywhere. Go ahead, kid. We'll be right here.
Because you're forever anyway, right?
Yes, so take your time. I'm not going anywhere, right?
Okay, because when we come back after the break, I do have some questions about us, God, that I think all of us need to ask, but just won't. And
well, I want you to, so you can have your bravery brought forth to show people they can do what they choose, and that is they needed to be represented. You being the light.
Why?
And then everyone else becomes their own light.
Well, God,
isn't that exquisite?
Yes, and so God, why? And you can answer this briefly before the break.
Sure.
Why is it that so many of us hold it in? They don't want to ask questions
because you're scared.
Scared of what? What is it?
Scared? What do you mean, what is it?
Yeah, what is it that we're scared of?
We're scared of judgment.
We're scared of judgment.
We're scared of not being accepted. Hey, have you ever had a girlfriend, kid?
A couple.
Did anyone break up with them? Did they break up?
I've done it a few times. I've had a few dump me as well.
Did you cry? Be honest with me. Come on.
Maybe once.
You were upset, weren't you?
Mm-hmm.
Because they were a dependency. See, that's a loss. And see, if you get accepted as a loss, it hurts because you're no longer valued in the eye of the court of the current authority. Because we're always seeking the idea of connection. We're always seeking connection down here, guys. So you're scared to be the stand down the edge. That's why I gave you fire signs. We have fire signs that represent.
But I'm not. But I'm not afraid to go to the edge now.
Now, for you have commanded yourself in bravery to understand there is nothing on the other side of fear. But there are children, people, seniors that are scared, that have been spoken to as less than all their lives, and the only thing they know is the coveting systems that have been taught, so they cannot take that step. But that's why you do not preach to them. You offer your own expanse of your own bravery, so allow them to courage within themselves, the virtue of all virtues, testing point, courage. Courage, my God, myself at all points is courage. Is at that testing point of all virtue to say it's okay to be me. And that's what light workers do. You guys are lighthouses, light bearers. You shepherd the ones that are lost at sea to show them that they can light their own way. Do not be a preacher any longer if you choose to understand yourself in expansion. Be the preacher. Protest upon others. Enslave others, because that is God being itself, if that is your truth. To be the mastery, to be the everlasting mastery of awakening a species, then you must be able to speak your own truth and stand upon your own light, and then you will know yourself as me.
God, you stay right there. We'll pick all of this up on the backside. This is Fade to Black. I am your host, Jimmy Church, and I have to say, it's one of the best shows that I've done in a long, long time. We are sharing the knowledge tonight. Right now, I'm channeling God. More with God right after this short break. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. You can follow Roxanne at Roxy Swainhart. It's all right there on Twitter. I'll be right back.
Vivica Fox here, and you are listening to my boy, Jimmy Church, on JimmyChurchRadio.com.
Despite popular opinion, reading a book will not make you smarter.
But listening to Jimmy Church will.
So you went to dinner last night, you had your favorite pasta. Ugh. Or maybe you had a heavy, spicy meal and it left you. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Maybe you mowed down a huge steak and your plumbing is all plugged. Ugh. GetTheT.com. Our super strength tea will take care of your occasional. Ugh. It's all organic and non-GMO. Get rid of. Ugh. We have so many great supplements, but our super tea is number one. GetTheT.com. That's GetTheT.com.
So, you love talk radio? Then you'll love TalkStreamLive.com. TalkStream Live is always on, 24/7 with the best streaming talk shows. Find your favorite talkers and discover some new ones. It's free, readily available online or on mobile with any smartphone or tablet. Finding your favorite talk shows all in one place has gotten a whole lot easier. Just go to TalkStreamLive.com. Be sure to download the free apps from Google Play or the iTunes App Store.
When you take the beans from Central America with dashes of Indonesian and African mixed in and then roasted to the dark side of fade to black, you create the ultimate brew of fringe. Introducing the Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Yes, River Moon's darkest customized roast was created for the love of Fade to Black. The alchemy of masterful roasting and smoking the beans is in every sip of this full-bodied, dark Java. I need my coffee dark, deep, with distinct bittersweet chocolate highlights, just like the bunker. Leaning further into the darkness of the roast is Fade to Black blend from River Moon Coffee. Just click on the banner at jimmychurchradio.com and use the promo code F2BBLEND for 15% off of your order today. Go Beckley Teppy.
Hey, can we talk about something serious for a minute? Your age. Getting old has its perks. But remember, being a few years younger, you know, your hair was thicker, you didn't have so many wrinkles, that extra weight wasn't haunting you, and you just felt better. Well, we can't turn back the clocks and go back 10 or 15 years, but you can start feeling and looking 10 or 15 years younger with Nature's Youth RSF. It's a doctor-formulated daily supplement that helps your body maintain its peak performance and fight the aging process. Imagine sleeping better, looking better, and feeling better. See how Nature's Youth RSF has helped thousands of people just like you at nature'syouth.com. nature'syouth.com. The holidays are coming. Imagine how it will feel when your family and friends are asking you what you did to look so good. Your secret will be Nature's Youth RSF. It's time to start looking better and feeling better. Learn more and order your Nature's Youth RSF at nature'syouth.com. That's nature'syouth.com.
It's not a lifestyle we chose. We were born this way. KGRARadio.com.
This is KJCR at JimmyChurchRadio.com.
All right, welcome back. Fade to Black. I'm your host, Jimmy Church, on the Game Changer Network and KGRA The Planet. You can follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Twitter is completely on fire right now. Oh, I just said that as we are channeling God. Our guest tonight is Roxanne Swainhart, and we're speaking with God right now. God, I have a few questions that I've just got to get out there.
Go.
For those out there that want to believe that life on this planet and throughout the universe is an accident, it just happened, and there was no divine anything connected to it, what do you say to them?
I don't. Why would I ever give them an idea of, let's say, a discrepancy of their own truth? Truth is discovered by isness. Your beingness is always going to be returned, whether it is upon death or not. It matters not, because there is no time. It is the exquisite journey that each individual that says, okay, we are a result of pond scum, green goo, whatever. That's fine, because that's their self-God, me, literally me, over there saying, we are not divine. We are science, we are rock, we are mortar, we are brick, we are stone, we are these things of only that we see. Let them. Why? Because they can. Because they're the discovery of what is potential in the unknown to be known. Why would I, God, ever leave any stone unturned in my reality of forever? I have selves. Look around. Everybody, look around. Go look in the mirror and know yourself as the I am. I am that you are. We are the same. I'm it from this point of view. I'm it from this point of view. I'm it from that point of view. So that point of view chooses a truth. And I come along and preach to that truth and say, that's not the truth. I'm the truth. Then I'm going to become a tyrant just like everyone else has been good at it on this planet, which is exquisite because I get to discover myself in tyrancy because I am.
But for those that believe that we came from pond scum, what are they going to find out after they die?
They're going to find out their truth. Their truth is going to be so comprehensible, different than what you could ever equate to their truth as. There was a reference given Conversations when I talked to Neil Donald Walsh in the Conversations with God. So when me and him are having the conversations and he writes my book, we give it an equation of what happens after death, and that is a valid truth, and that is most certainly a very, very valid truth. But it is only quintessential to the idea of the truth of the earth. It is contained within the idea of the separation, and it is a variation of each individual depending on how many journeys they've understood themselves in, and because you always have an underlying tone of intuition. This is a result of creation knowing itself and the ideology of repetition. It's just like when you go to work, your first day of work, you're scared to death. Okay? A week, you're a little bit more comfortable. A month or two, you're starting to make friends. You're starting to take a little bit more privileges. A year, you own the place. You don't care if you get fired or not because you own the reality. So it's the same thing. A lot of you, all of you really, have been here so many times you're starting to own the joint. So you understand yourself as whatever it is in the separation, but you have really an underlying tone of remembrance. Sometimes you choose to understand that as a truth, and sometimes you negate it because you chalk it up to the imagination, which is where Willy Wonka lives, and that's fairyland. But of course, the imagination is the roadmap to creation, because through the imagination you only discover your eternal isness, because that's where it lies out. But they're looking at it, everything is objectively. So I don't worry about them, and neither should you. Why? Because they're God understanding themselves in their own individual singularity, weaving the tapestry of life. Let them have it, kid. Let them have it.
What about one last question, God? No, actually I have two. The God that is in the Old Testament was a pretty bad dude.
The God of Abraham, yeah.
Was that you?
Of course it was me. But I'm not that interpretation. That was the interpretation to the God that wrote about that God. That was that God. That God was me understanding itself in separation. We are all separate, so everything you have down here as a resource, especially in the idea of history, is through a translatable separated God. Whether it's divine or not, it's always, and even Roxanne right now still has matters of distortion within herself, of course, because she is not whole, but she is on the bravery of her own journey to discover and have the big hairy cojones to choose herself channeling God. That's the discovery. So that person that wrote the angry God of Abraham was like, this is the God. But what did that God service? It served many gods to one God, because you had all those wonderful ideas of your Egyptian gods. You had Thoth and Seth and Ra and all these gods out there doing their thing, and those gods all became squashed into the mighty power of the almighty God of Abraham, and that God became the angry God because you guys weren't listening the other way, or blah, 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 whatever you want to chalk it up to. That's your truth. I gave you that. I gave myself that so I can know myself eternally. Perfect. So that God that was angry, it was an interpretation. And then you get to choose it. But it did bring you to one God, so you were outside of God with many gods, and you were outside of God with one God. Are you starting to pick it up? One? Okay, good. So, and then you became the age of Pisces, and you gave yourself what? Christ, as above, as below. So then all of a sudden you were connected to God through a permission slip called a Christ conscience. And now the dawning of the age of Aquarius, here you are to be the water bearer. God, the spiritual, the wholeness, the isness, the I am that I am. It's all a perfect evolution. Relax. Go ahead.
Did you create Thoth?
Of course I created. I created everything. Myself. I created everything. I created you. You created me. The refrigerator that, Roxy, hear that? That's an awareness. That's called matter. That matter is just as aware as you are. It is sentient in its own individual singular awareness, understanding itself. And that piece of metal that is made up by the vibrational molecules and atoms of this idea density elemental world validated by humanity's concept is God knowing itself. Go ahead.
Are you in communication with Thoth right now?
Sure, Thoth is right here. He's not over there. You're going to pick it up one time. Everything is here and now, so there is nothing that is not accessible. Thoth is not on a break going, hang on, I'm going to the bathroom, God. Can you give me a second?
Well, and God, you have to understand, for us,
I know, but
this...
you also are understand. I don't have to understand anything.
No, you don't. You do.
And neither
not.
do you. But that's what you got to see. You got to see that freedom. Neither do you. Don't worry about what it is. Take it. Keep going. Absorb it. Allow it and be it. So go ahead. What do you want to know about Thoth?
Is it okay if I speak with
Yeah, sure.
Thoth?
You want him?
Yes, I want Thoth. Is that okay?
Of course it's okay.
Oh, I feel so much better.
Say no.
I feel so much better, God. Thank you so much.
Oh, my God. I'm going to say no. Speak. Go ahead.
Thoth, there are the Orthodox academia wants us to believe that the Great Pyramid was built in 2500, 2600 BC.
Yes.
I think that it is much older than that. Did you build the Great Pyramid?
Yes.
When did
we did not build them with slaves. We did not build them in time. We built them in the now. Okay, but that's a godly, and that does not satisfy your appetite, so we shall speak humanly for you. We shall know your world, the world you live on today, so we shall speak in those mannerisms. Agreement?
Agreed.
I agree with you. Perfect. So now ask your humanistic questions.
When was the Great Pyramid built?
In your timeline, what is that you validate?
We don't know, and the reason why we don't know, because calendars are not accurate.
Yes.
So what we are being taught is not the truth, correct?
Let's not be arrogant. It is a potential of a truth. If there are enough entities that co-create that as a valid truth, then that truth becomes a reality. There is no one singular timeline. There is only validated in the numbers of a validation of a timeline. If enough say this is truth, if that enough is a one, then it becomes a reality. When is there not a reality created that is not thought of? Every reality is created. It's just how you relate to it in experiential separation that gives you the truth of it as real or not. But it most certainly is real. So I know you're looking for a consequence, a timeline of definition. 2500 BC, does that not sound old enough? Or 25,000 BC, is that better?
Oh, okay. So, and I accept that. So did the Egyptian people inherit the Great Pyramid?
No, they were taught to build it. They did not build it through slaves, through rollings. They were built on technology, fine ideas from civilizations beyond your world, gods, if you will. You coveted them as greater than. They were equals. They are everywhere in your hieroglyphics. They are everywhere in your books. They have been cast away to the idea of a lunatic mind to allow these as reality. For the authority, your scientists, cannot validate such truths, for it would be conceptually rewriting your histories, and all of your statures of your own product, of your own existence, would crumble in one fell swoop, knowing that your pyramids were built by civilizations that allowed humanity to understand itself in sound levitation and transport those very large, heavy bricks miles across the land with one idea pushing it, one individual fella, just pushing it with his finger and moving it across the plains. For the levitation of existence happens in tone in your frequency balance upon your gravitational earth.
Why don't we, Thoth, I'm sorry to interrupt you, but why don't we understand the purpose of the pyramids?
Well, there is no purpose except the purpose that you choose them to be. At one time, it was a communication device between here and other worlds. Your Pleiadian civilization, your Andromedan civilization, it was literally what you would call a telephone. But it was done in such an idea, and you all know the inside has a certain frequency, that is a certain rebounding effect that does something to the signature of the vibrational insert, or let's say, we'll call it initiate in your time, that would go and place itself in different ideas of the expansion, the evolution of the chambers, and would heighten itself in spiritual awareness to become in communication with different civilizations, speaking with them, bringing the idea of their teachings written on your walls, in your mystery schools, upon your planet that has been covered up by the sands of time and the hidden ideas of power-hungry gentlemen.
My wife had a dream, Rita, of the pyramids being, the three pyramids at Giza being three different colors, white, red, and black. Was her dream correct?
The vibrational interpretation of the colors are a little bit skewed, but you can call them within the same holistic family.
What do you, I'm sorry, I don't understand.
The colors are the same, but they're just off in tone. Are you following that?
Oh,
it was not black, it was more slate.
And what about the red pyramid? Same thing?
Yes. What is the red stone that you equate to that in your mind? Tell me your truth.
Well, it was her dream. I'm sorry about that.
It doesn't matter if it's her dream. It doesn't belong to her. She belongs to you and you belong to her in separation, as in what? I know more than you. That is not what we seek today. We would like you to know that you are her in individual singularity connection. So tell me, what is the stone that the pyramid was covered in the original color?
Interesting.
Trust yourself.
Yeah, and we don't know that. Why?
Yes, you do. You won't let yourself say the truth because you're scared of failure. Now you understand why that question before to God, because you can't even brave yourself to know that the garnet that's whipping around in your mind, you will not allow yourself to say it, although it's been pinging off of your mind for the last 10 minutes.
Very interesting, because what we're trying to do is, and I'm speaking about those here at Fade to Black, we're trying to figure out three pyramids, right? Three separate uses, or were they all used for the same thing? Because
same thing and different things.
Why?
They're vibrational. Let's say you understand grids, ley lines, energetic pathways between points upon your Earth. You know of your Bosnian pyramids, yes?
Yes.
Well, these are parts of that connection, that interdimensional highway upon your planet when aliens and extraterrestrials, truly would they be future extraterrestrials, because there are no extraterrestrials in your nows, because everything is Terra. Once you understand yourself as Homo Galacticus, then you will certainly most be extraterrestrial, and of course those hybrid species that humanistic DNA are extraterrestrials as well. But in those times they were future and now aliens, but futuristic in time extraterrestrials that were using these energetic pathways to, let's say, navigate themselves around the world, as well as using Earth as a waypoint. If you understand anything about your aircraft, you understand IRS. Let's say instrument, IFR. Thank you, Roxanne. My correction. IF, instrument, flight, ride. You have a system between points. They are radio waves that tell you beacons to go left and travel at such speed for such distances. Earth is one of those ideas of the intergalactic idea of your solar system. You sit in the idea of a solar system that is an energetic wave, a pinging point in what you call your galaxies. But of course, this is really mundane information, but it does value itself in some accordance with some humans. But that's what the pyramids did. They were also a communication device. They were also devices for energetic refills of, let's say, the discoveries of your of your Nikola Tesla, understanding how to pull electricity out of your air, out of your atmosphere. Right. He was doing the same. The idea conduit was your pyramids that energized those ships and refueling. Of course, those refuelings were from a very long trip in your ideas, light years, hundreds of light years, thousands of light years before refuel, but it was a refuel station upon the path when you had those energetic, still going on in different ideas of parallel realities of those energetic gas stations. Go ahead.
You just suggested that the Bosnian pyramid is an actual pyramid.
Pyramids.
Is it real?
Of course it's real. Your mind and heart tells you that, but your proof does not allow you that until someone comes along merrily skipping in his follies with authority badge, says archaeologist, because he has graduated from some university, saying this is now a pyramid, and you're going, oh, okay, awesome. Victims, I say.
It doesn't.
Victims to your own democracy.
Thoth, I giggle because the Bosnian pyramid, what is in Giza, what is in Mexico, what was built by the Maya, clearly represents a pyramid structure and form, whereas the Bosnian pyramid does not. Why hide it? Yeah, why hide it?
It's not being hidden. It just hasn't been dug up yet.
And what's its purpose? Is it the same?
So of course it's the same. It's the purpose of the time. It's the purpose of the people in the time. It's not purposeful now. But you are so fascinated with it because you're searching for yourself in the ideas of outside sources. Just wait till you discover. Watch the stirrings of humanity as soon as the release of the Antarctica pyramids are known.
You knew that was my next question.
Well, no kidding. You wrote this.
Yes.
You just gave me the script, and I'm just reading what you have already told me to read.
Thank you so much. Now, people are going to think that I did give you a script.
Well, let them think what they will, but we know the truth. Do you?
We do know the truth.
Then be okay with your own isness. It's okay to be God.
I feel good in my own isness right now, actually. Thank you for that. The one last question, Thoth. One last question, and I do want to thank you. Are your writings and teachings going to be found for us in the future?
They have been found.
Who has them?
The Vatican.
The Vatican. I knew it. Okay.
Of course you knew it. But the Vatican is going to release, because that's why you have your current Pope in there, and the Pope offers a permission slip of letting some of the truths out. The truth has already been spoken that there is no hell, and that was done by a valid clergy. So then it becomes the idea of individual choosing. You're unraveling the game to see that the game is that of you. How perfect and exquisite you are.
Thank you, Thoth. Can I have Roxanne back?
Well, of course you can. Stand by. Bid you a good day. Hi, honey. How are you?
Hey, Roxanne. Now,
baby,
I want to thank you for tonight, but let me ask you this before we depart. Do you remember? You remember everything that we just talked about?
Not everything. It's just like the moment. like me and you having a conversation, if we were having a conversation for an hour, there's parts I don't remember, but if I go back and listen to it, or I sit in it for a while, I did something the other day. It's really cool. I channeled an Amazonian, but I channeled it in a different way. She really embraced the body and got up and started walking around and just really being here and now. And I really stepped aside. And some of that is that was exquisite, that I didn't remember everything that she did. And I had to go back and experience that as like you guys are listening into it in the now. But in this kind of idea channeling, that's like an expansive, it's my next evolution of my channeling ability. But what I did today is I know it, and if I go back and just sit and watch TV, maybe I'll put on Columbo in a little bit, and it just kind of sinks in, and then it all comes back, and then I start remembering, oh yeah, he said that, that was cool, and just, kind of reflect on it that way. Makes sense?
Yeah, and what? Cool. I'm just curious, and we're right at the end of the show.
Yes.
So if we do run out of time, I'm going to thank you now. This was amazing. But when you are channeling, what do you see? Colors? What's going on in your brain?
Oh my gosh, I see the whole game. Sometimes there's colors. Sometimes I see pictures. When someone's asking a question about their life, I see the whole scenario. I see their point of view, but I don't see it all the time in details. I see it in vibration. I know when it's limiting. I know when it's fear. I know when it's pain or suffering. I know when it's this. I know when it's that. I have the intuition about the moment. I know what's coming. I get these thought blocks, and sometimes they're pictures, crisp, beautiful pictures, but sometimes they're just a bliss of vibration. Sometimes they're colors. I remember one time I was sitting in this room, and my grandfather came to me, and he was yellow. He was the vibration of yellow, and I understood him as yellow, but I knew it was him. I didn't have to see him as my grandfather, the image. I understood him as my grandfather,
right.
Robert, and I had a conversation with him because I was pissed off at him down here, and I now wanted to talk to him from a new point of view, a point of view of Roxanne releasing and not holding these idea grudges against someone because he was that guy then. And then I understood him, so I understood him in that connection, and he just happened to be yellow, so I accepted him as yellow and not try to contain him to what I thought was the past, because then I only keep myself contained within my past, and that ain't no fun.
I've got to thank you, Roxanne. An absolutely amazing and fascinating conversation tonight. And for the audience, what's the best way to get a hold of you?
Well, I'm odysseyofascension.com, and my YouTube is Odyssey of Ascension. And I'm on Facebook, Roxanne Swainhart. I've got my email out there and my phone number's out there. And just say hi. We're all gods.
Hey, do you have any events coming up? Yeah, we're all gods. Absolutely.
We're all gods. I just do right now I have my Sylvester class is my thing right now. I've got, 20 to 30 students that come and go on a daily basis, and that's where the edge is. The stuff that comes out in those classes are different than the YouTube. The YouTube is high quality, of course. It's never, but it's more individualistic in the moment on that side class because it's dynamic, it's alive, it's really, really good. But nothing as far as events goes. I have a college that maybe wants me to speak at them. The more shows, they're doing a couple other things with potentials of some other stuff to come in the future. But I'm just doing what I do best, living my now's passion, and the world takes care of itself.
Thank you. Yeah, thank you so much. And just one of those shows, and I can't wait. This is the truth. I don't listen to my shows, right? I don't. That's right. It, right? I've got another show tomorrow night. I'm going to go back and listen to this one.
Booyah.
Yeah, there you go. Roxanne, thank you so much, and be safe out there.
All right, darling. Thank you, and I love every one of you.
Just a great conversation. Thank you so much, Roxanne. And now, everybody, it is very simple. It is Odyssey of Ascension, odysseyofascension.com. The links are over at jimmychurchradio.com. And a couple of thoughts really quick. I've only got about 60 seconds here before I have to run credits. But what did you think? I've got to go back and listen. What did you think about Steve Jobs? There was something going on there that was very, very interesting, and that I really enjoyed. All of it was a great conversation tonight. But I want everybody to realize, for me, with Roxanne and the transition that was made in her life from Roy to Roxanne, I wanted to drive that point home at the very beginning of the show. There is a freedom that for anybody out there, when you talk, you are connecting the front part of your brain to your jaw. Some people think about what they say before they speak. Some don't. But when that gets clouded, you are thinking about other things besides what you actually want to say or have freedom of thought and finding your bliss. And when you clear that out, then magic happens. And not only for yourself, but in your own life and for those that are around you. And I know that's exactly what happened with Roxanne. Absolutely fascinating conversation. And once you clear that out, everything in your life is possible. Thank you, Roxanne Swainhart. Absolutely amazing. Fade to Black's executive producers Rita Kamarian. Show is produced by Hilton J. Palm, Renee, Dennis, and Bob. Announcers are Steve Harder, Gene Vitoa, Mark D. Kovar. Webmaster Drew the Geek. Music, Doug Aldrich. Intro, Spaceboy, spaceboymusic.com. Fade to Black is produced by KJCR for the Game Changer Network, and syndication is KGRA, The Planet. This broadcast is owned and copyrighted 2017 by Fade to Black and the Game Changer Network. It cannot be downloaded, copied, or used anywhere in the known universe without written permission from Fade to Black or the Game Changer Network. I'm your host, Jimmy Church. Follow me on Twitter at JChurchRadio. Until tomorrow night, we'll see everybody right here. Our guest, Dr. Judith Orloff. Until then, everybody be safe. Go Beckley Tepe.